Alright, let's see if I can hear myself on Twitch. Alright, let's see if I can hear myself. Is that Twitch is good? How about YouTube? Alright, let's see if I can hear myself on Twitch. Alright. Yep, looks like it's good. Alright, I think we are ready to go ahead and get into this. Took a little bit of a break. Didn't play twice yesterday. Kind of in the mood to play quite a bit now, so. Alright, let's go do an intro and we're gonna get started. Okay. What's up, guys? I'm the Blue Titan, and welcome back to another episode of Darkest Dungeon. Before we get started, if you'd like to see short form content, highly edited stuff that you'd see on a YouTube Shorts feed, or highlight reels of what happened in the previous episodes, as well as just generally high octane, faster content that you'd watch during like a lunch break, from like 10 minutes, 15 minutes long or so, head over to the Blue Titan Space Gaming to watch content like that. If you'd like to see long form content where I talk with my YouTube and Twitch chat, talk about game design, talk about the game I'm playing currently, and just generally have good conversations and kind of get off task a bit sometimes and just talk while I'm playing for long periods of time, you can head over to the Blue Titan Space Gaming Space VODs, where you'll catch the entire video without the edits, without any of the content cut. We're talking the difference between videos that are anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes long to videos that are upwards of 3 hours long, right? So it just depends on what your goal is. Are you looking to sit and watch a quick video over lunch break, or are you looking to watch a video and you have some downtime on a Sunday afternoon and you have nothing better to do and you just kind of want to watch and chill on the couch and hang out with your dog or whatever, right? All right, well, anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. I don't have a lot else I want to do other than just get into a dungeon. We left last episode in a point where we actually had everybody already getting their new quirks locked in. We already checked our items, and we already checked for new people. We checked the stagecoach down here, and we found that the Arbalist was probably the best possible recruit here. And I am tempted just to take her in general because I do have 28 slots instead of 30, or I guess I have 28 slots filled out of the 29 because I dropped, I believe it was we had a person that had the Crimson Curse, and I dropped who it was. I can't remember who it was, but we dropped somebody because they had the Crimson Curse, and also because they were like, lower level in general, didn't have really any good abilities if I recall correctly. But Moyen, this Arbalist is probably the best option we have out of the whole core group. She has Clotter, which is A tier, and she's also got, a bunch of bad quirks, but we could lock Clotter and then remove Claustrophobia, and we could also lock Unerring and remove, like, Covephobe. Scientific is fine on her. I'm not really bothered by her having that because she's very rarely going to be on a team alongside of the Vestal, so it doesn't really often matter. She's usually going to be the healer when she's on the squad. And then Slow Draw's bad, so we would want to get rid of that. So this is essentially a character who has, two really bad quirks between Slow Draw and Claustrophobia, and then Covephobe is not good, but it's not as bad as a lot of other quirks. In the early game, it matters a lot. As the game progresses, it doesn't matter nearly as much. The extra stress isn't that big of a deal. It does matter, right? But it's just not that often, right? It's only one out of however many different locations in the game, right? You get your 4 core base places, then you've also got the Crimson Courtyard as well as the Farmstead, and then you've got the Darkest Dungeon itself. And then I think there's also like one other location in the game that appears intermittently, which is like the wolves people, like the humans that show up, I guess, if you want to even count that one. But generally speaking, I'm not going to include that. Generally speaking, you're not going to be seeing one of these is not going to matter that much. In the earlier stages in the game, it can really matter, but at this stage, it probably doesn't matter that much. But we still do want to get rid of it. But if we were going to choose, we would definitely want to get rid of Clotter. I'm sorry, keep Clotter, lock it, remove Claustrophobia, keep Unerring, maybe remove Slow Draw. See, the thing about Unerring is just like on our other Arbalist, I believe it is the level 0 one. We have her level 1 down here. She's got Eagle Eye. Plus 5% crit is stronger than plus 10% damage. It just is. So this is a better ability. Plus, she's also got Tippler and Risk Taker. She's loaded, right? Tippler Risk Taker is a crazy good combo. I say good combo. Risk Taker's just incredible, and Tippler is like very, very low risk. Like, there's almost no downside to taking a stress-based activity lock thing like this. And this is the lowest cost one of all, right? Tippler as well as meditating. But drinking and meditating are the cheapest things for stress relief, is what I'm trying to say. So having to do that, it's not that big of a deal. But then on top of that, you add the fact that she's got Eagle Eye. It's pretty solid. Now, Eagle Eye is not the most powerful thing she could have on her, but it's probably, I would say, the best offensive thing that she could roll. You could, again, looking at this one, say unerring's okay, but again, I don't think 10% extra range damage is equivalent to 10% crit on range skills. I don't think it's the equivalent. I think I'd rather just have the crit. Because if you're thinking, like, let's say I do 12 damage and I do 10% more, then I'm gonna do 1.2 extra damage every single attack, right? Over the course of like many missions, right, that might make the difference in killing a few enemies. But a lot of the times, you know, the problem that you have with a character like the Arbalist is you shoot somebody and you either insta-kill them and it feels fantastic, or you get them to 2 and then it's like, dang it. This could possibly put it over the edge, but critting guarantees they're just dead if you were going to shoot them and get close, right? They're just dead. So in my estimation, I would much rather just have higher crit. I think that's probably what I would lean into. Although it is also interesting in general. This game seems to favor damage dealers as frontliners. Like, damage dealers usually are like your tankier characters, and your backliners are almost always support classes. The Arbalist / Musketeer is almost like not the antithesis of that, and not like, but it's the closest thing to a damage dealing backliner in the game. Most of the damage dealers, though, are frontliners or like second or maybe even third slot if you want to include Bounty Hunter and Grave Robber and Highwayman. But the back slot where she's at usually is not trying to hit for damage. She can, but like the utility of this character comes from you know, rallying flare, healing people in the back line, and then the occasional, you know, marking of someone. This debuffing targets, you know, decreasing their accuracy and crit. I can't really comment on this. I haven't had the pleasure of, you know, seeing this go well. I haven't really had the chance to use this too much, so I can't really comment. But in general, I think the bread and butter of this class is you're going to be using battlefield advantage and keeping someone alive, and then occasionally you're going to mark someone and then shoot them with the mark. And this is an enormous amount of damage, by the way. Somebody gets marked, then you just kill them. It's crazy. I do think rallying flares, obviously, it has its value, and we've seen that when we fought against the Swine Prince, which we'll be doing here in a bit. And that kind of brings me to my greater point here. I'm considering taking her, and I'm going to, just off of the back.
Bandage and pillage. The dancing steps of war.
Just off of the back, off the back of the fact that we're about to fight against the Swine Prince, so I want to make sure that I have at least one good Arbalist. And we do have a level 4 Arbalist ready to go, but she doesn't have anything locked yet. Resolution's locked, it's good, but what I mean is good quirks. She has Natural Eye, which again, you might think, well, that's really good, right? Range skills. She only uses range skills. See, it's kind of weird. Accuracy's not as important on range dealers as it is frontliners, I've learned. Because if you look at, like, let's look at the Leopard as the most extreme example. This is a level 4 ability, so we're comparing apples to apples. This level 4 ability has accuracy base of 90, a 90% chance to hit. At level 4, it's only 90% accurate, which is crazy. That's pretty low, honestly, for a level 4 ability. Whereas Fane Tree's main ability is 110% accurate, 20% more accurate. So to me, this is interesting. You know, you look at the ability and you're like, wow, this thing's so much better. You know, why is this thing so much better? Well, the answer lies in the fact that this character, you know, she has a higher amount of base accuracy. I think it even has a higher percentage chance of critting, right? Doesn't it? This has a 6% crit modifier. This only has a 8% crit modifier, or this has a 8% crit modifier. So in raw stats so far, 110% base accuracy is better than 90% at both level 4. 8% crit is better than 6%, both level 4. Then this has the upside of also consuming marks. You're like, whoa, hold on, this is just a better ability, right? Isn't it better? No, because it's based off of the raw damage the character has, right? This character deals between 6 and 13 damage. 100% of her damage is going to fall someone. Let me actually say this more accurately. Not 100% of her attacks, right? But her attacks, a normal 100% hitting ability, is going to hit for damage amount somewhere between 6 and 13 before armor or protection and other things like that are calculated. So whenever she goes to attack, if her ability has 100% accuracy and it has 100% like damage, like a normal damage ability, it doesn't have a modifier like where it does 80% less or something than a normal attack, this ability is going to hit and it's going to do 100% of her normal range. It's going to roll a random number inside of this range, 6 or 13, and she's either going to hit 6, she's going to hit 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, or 13, and then after that it's going to decide what's 100% of that number, and it's going to multiply against it, and then it's going to apply that amount of damage to the opponent, and then after that it's going to calculate their protection. It's going to subtract off the protection percentage from that number, and then that's going to be the damage they take. Well, her regular damage is 6 to 13. The Leper's is between 12 and 23. He is literally double her damage range. his worst attack is her best attack. So even though it looks like she's doing a lot more, or she's more accurate, she is more accurate, and her crits are more powerful, or more common, it's true, he is going to be a bigger damage dealer. So you're kind of in this weird spot when you're playing a class like the Arbalist. The Arbalist is not a damage dealer primarily. You can force her to do it, but you're essentially pushing a character who's more of like a support offshooter, like a character who has the capacity to deal damage but is really focused more on the utility of her skills. You're forcing her to deal damage. Now you can use her like properly by if you have a mark comp, like the whole team is rolling with marks, like, you know, you've got your Houndmaster, you've got your Bounty Hunter, you've got, you know, your Arbalist. Multiple people on your team can mark. Sure, if you do that, yes, right? Trying to think of another person who marks off the top of my head. Why am I not thinking of somebody here? I have to think about that for a minute. I don't know why. I know there's at least 4 people that mark in this game. Why am I not remembering the other person off the top of my head? Either way, the point here, though, is you can mark and then afterwards consume the mark with like a lot of value, right? It suddenly makes her essentially the equivalent of the leper, right? Because this ability is now going to be steroided, right? So instead of dealing somewhere between 6 and 8 or 6 and 13, if she hits a marked target, she's going to have 6 and 13 increased, right? It's going to increase up to 80% of 6, right? An extra, I guess in this case, it's an unfortunate number. It'd be 80% of 6. Wow, that's kind of an annoying number to calculate. 1/5 of 6. 1.2, yeah. So she's going to deal an extra 1.2, so she's going to do an extra 4.8, right? So her low end, she's going to deal 10.8, probably rounds to 11, and then 13, whatever 80% of 13 is, she's going to deal that amount of damage on top of the 13, right? And then so her range expands, and if you're hearing the numbers I just gave, I said about 11 or so, that's almost the bottom range, right? That's almost his range, 12 to 23. Right, so when the enemy is marked, this ability does the same amount of damage as the leper's normal attack, which means you have to set it up first and then start doing it. Well, that's weird, because then it's like, why not just run the leper? The leper does more damage, like without having to do any kind of setup. And you're right. The difference is, though, you're forgetting the fact that she gets extra crit. Right, so this guy doesn't get extra crit after marking someone. He just gets his normal huge he just does a lot of damage, right? He gets his base 6% crit off the ability plus whatever crit he gets from his other stuff, whatever. But then if you look at her, this ability, when the enemy is marked, is dealing 12% crit chance. Not to mention her base crit off of her own stuff. Her quirk here from Natural Eye. Well, not Natural Eye, I'm sorry. Clutch Hitter. Wait a second here. This says plus 5% from quirk on critical chance. It's kind of weird that Clutch Hitter is being calculated in there, because she's not right now below. Yeah, so ignore that 5% quirk. She doesn't have something that's giving her Natural Eye's extra accuracy, not crit chance. It's kind of a weird number they're showing there. She's getting 9% base weapon base, or 9% crit base. Then this would increase that to 21%. Not to mention, she's got items like the Bullseye Bandana that increase that further. Now all of a sudden you're kind of getting into this range where you can almost guarantee a crit every third attack, every fourth attack for sure, maybe even every third attack. You can almost get up into that range. Now you have to start questioning whether or not she is not more powerful than the leper, but more potentially powerful against bosses if you build a comp around her, right? She can actually deal a lot of damage to single targets if you set up the marks for her. Oh, I think the other person that marks is, no, she does extra damage against people who are marked. I don't know why I'm not remembering who the other person is that can mark. It's these two, and these two. Wow, why am I not remembering? Bounty Hunter, that's the 3 I'm remembering, but I'm just not remembering the last one here for some reason. He marks himself, right? Self, yes. I don't know why I'm struggling to remember who the other person is that targets someone. Or, you know, marks them. Is it, do you mark? Yeah, I think you do mark, don't you? I think you do mark. Extra damage versus marked. Do you apply? Maybe you don't mark. Maybe you just consume mark. Yeah, maybe you just consume mark. Either way, I'm getting a little off topic there. Back to what I was trying to say, though. What I was trying to say, though, is I actually do think the Arbalest is a pretty powerful, like, backliner for damage. It's just that she's kind of like a weird hybrid build, where she's both a support who you can force her to be more of a damage dealer who occasionally heals. But she's not a leper, right? The leper's whole thing is I'm just going to do a lot of damage to one target. You got to remember, like, if in order for her to do that, she's got to be set up for it. She's a support that can, like an offensive support. It's kind of an interesting build. Huge DPS, single target, team healer. Kind of weird. But either way, what I was going to say was I actually already had 2 Arbalists, and it was kind of hard. I was like, do I want to bring a third one? But I actually didn't have to make the choice. I can kick that decision down the road a little bit due to the fact that we already had one slot filled, or one slot open since we dropped someone. But either way, we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump into a mission here, and I'm going to try to get our guys up to level 4 because we have a lot of level 3s here. We're almost at a point where we can go ahead and go tackle this Swine King, which is what I'm trying to set up here. So we're going to be trying to lean into some orange missions if possible. We can't really do it here. We've got only reds and then the Swine King and then greens. So that kind of makes it hard for us to level our 3s. We can level 2s if we want to do that. That's okay. I mean, I could also come over here and do this random veteran tier, or I guess veteran tier long mission to go get this, rat carcass, immune to death by the Crimson Curse. I just don't care about this item. I have no interest in that. I don't think it's worth talking about really at all. Oh, well, we could go do this Beast Slayer's ring. How many of those do we have? 2 or 3? Oh, we have 3. I mean, getting a 4th one's not terrible. I mean, you could always have 4, 1 for every person in your team, no matter what. Beast Slayer's rings are strong, and you could obviously imagine having 2 or 3 of those. A 4th one's kind of unnecessary. Honestly, at past 2, you're probably fine. But keeping them so that you could have all the options available in case you want to run a full offensive comp against the Swine King's not a bad thing. Think of it this way. If I had every single person on my team with a Beast Slayer's ring on a map like the Warrens where everybody's beasts, we're just pushing a crazy amount of raw damage. I basically don't have to run the normal items I would run. Things like Dismiss's Head, which removes all the stress fear. You know, instead of extra stress and extra damage, I'm hitting them for raw 25%. You might say, well, but their dodge is suffering from it. Yeah, but like, I mean, 8% dodge is not that much anyway. Like, whatever. I mean, it matters over the course of the entire mission, but whatever. So I think I'm gonna go do this mission just because, like, having a 4th one of these is it's marginal, but at least it's better than what I've got here. I'm also not really, I guess okay. There is a consideration here that I did not consider before. I could do this. I could go try to beat the Hag next mission by beating the Sunshine in the Thicket and then going to defeat the final form of the Hag really quickly. That's worth considering instead. Because Sunshine in the Thicket is kind of an alley-oop, right? Like, you set yourself up for a huge fight in that location. One thing I got to keep in mind though here is that this wheeled location does have the thing from the stars, but that's okay. Normally when we come and do this mission anyways, we're coming there with, like, people who have the ability to strip the armor off of it now anyways. So yeah, maybe we go do this mission and set ourselves up for a Hag mission next. I'm not against that. Hopefully she'll roll something better than a... Well, I don't think we have Hell's Hairpin. We talked about that last episode. Yes, we did get it. I thought we had gone after it. I couldn't remember if we'd won or not. Okay. So yeah, I guess we could go do this. I still want to level our lower tier guys and go get things like this Beast Slayer's ring, but the fact that this has a Sunshine in the Thicket does set us up pretty easy for beating the Wield, or beating the Hag in the next mission, and we do have a line or the higher tier guys, and we have bleeders, right? We have Drew who can do some real crazy damage to bleeders. Or, I'm sorry, not to bleeders. What do I mean to say? He's a bleeder himself. He can do a lot of damage to the Eldritch and Beast characters in that location because the Wield is really susceptible to bleed. Anscott, we could bring him. I mean, the main reason we'd bring him is just because he's loaded. He's got really good quirks in general. He's hot to trot. Corvid's Eye. He does a lot of. He's just loaded. His quirks are good. I mean, they're really good. Man-at-Arms is. Oh, I was gonna say, why is he up there? I think he's because he was in an earlier squad. Let's sort by level here. Yeah, Dupe Esquire is obviously incredible. Like, just an incredible, bleeder character, and he's obviously a person he would bring. So our comp would look something like this if we went to go. I can't even drag him down here. He's just getting his quirk locked. Our comp would look like Dupe Esquire, Drew, and then after that, I don't really know. Probably Hallecker here, even though this character is a level lower. The reason being is because this character's still level 5, so we can level all this. We can still get all the benefits of having all of his abilities be the highest level. We just put some money into it. And the thing about the Jester is if you run with Slice Off can hit the front 2 slots and the back 2 slots, which is very important against the Hag, because the Hag is in slots 3 and 4, and this does a lot of damage, a lot of bleed damage. Plus, Finale's pretty powerful, being able to like have the Jester be in the back lines and keep on using this ability. If the Jester gets stolen, then the Jester can immediately come into the first slot, because remember, whenever the Hag steals your character, she puts it in a pot and then releases it, puts it in the back, and puts it, or drops the character in the front slot. Then the Jester, as you know, after all of that, could just hit for one big finale. Right now, remember, if she steals him and then multiple rounds go by, we might lose the buffs from finale, but it still does a decent amount of raw damage, right? It straight up just says damage modification plus 50%, crit modifier plus 8%. It just does 50% extra more than its regular damage. It can deal a lot. So we could probably rely on this as another person to bring with us, although Dark Temptation is annoying. It's going to ruin a lot of curios for us, but we don't really care that much. So I guess the comp might look like this, plus the Druid would be up front, and then after that we'd have to find one more person to run up front, and I'd prefer it not to be somebody like Evel. Remember, the Leper's pretty bad against the Hag because she doesn't get into slots 1 or 2, and he can't hit her. I mean, he could always destroy the pot, right? And it's actually not a terrible thing to bring him, because if he's up front, right? Actually, never mind. Bringing this character is actually a good idea, because he can never hit her. But if he's taken, then he doesn't die to the pot very easily, because he's got 8 million health. So he just sits in the pot while everybody else dogpiles on the Hag. And then in addition to that, if he does get dropped out of the pot, then he gets dropped into the front slot, which means that he can immediately use something like Solemnity to heal himself back off death's door. And then in addition to that, further, if he is in the first slot and somebody else is taken, he can just chop the pot and almost instantly get the person right back out of it. The downside is whoever he gets out of the pot is then going to be in front of him, and then he's going to be in slot 2, which means he's going to have to move forward for that to not happen again. And if 2 people get put in the pot and then he gets shoved back to, down, that could get out of hand if you don't kill the Hag quick. I don't know. I feel like that's actually adding a little danger that we might not need to do. So maybe it is better to kind of stay off of that character and run with Theon's. Well, I guess Theon is actually better though, because even though I'm not really super excited about the idea of running an Abomination because of Blight, the character does just do a raw damage, and Rage does reach. Rage does a lot of damage, and if this character gets rolled back in the front slot, for all the same reasons as the Leper, this character can heal with Absolution and keep himself from dying. But then in addition to that, Rage can just absolutely destroy the Hag from slot 1, and if he gets stolen, he gets rolled back into slot 1. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. So that's probably the comp, something like this, and then put the Drew right here. I think that's actually probably our comp. Yeah, that's pretty good. We'll do that next round if things go well here. Let's do that. Let's go log in a comp here. Let's pick up. Again, this is a medium tier mission. Okay, then we can bring a few level 1s if we want to, not feel too bad about it. We can also bring a level 0, but we want to make sure that if we're on a long mission, we bring people who can actually deal with the long mission. Although this is a thing from the Stars mission, so we got to keep that in mind. We need somebody who can deal with armor. And either that or just essentially ignore armor with something like Modoit here, which we could do. Eldritch Slayer's pretty good, and also Mark for Death is pretty good here, so probably Bohan here. I think we're certainly not bringing Parry unless we're going to go lean into the Incision build, which we could do. Extra crit on melee skills, we could do that. It's kind of weird bringing this character to this location because she's not usually associated with doing these kinds of missions, but we can do it. And then after that, I might actually bring her because, well, her mark doesn't remove armor, it removes dodge chance, but it does synergize with his mark, which does remove the protection, right? So against the thing from the start, the idea would be I use this on the thing from the start, strip away a bit of its protection, and then the sniper shoots it. And then you do it a few times and just kind of make sure that the thing loses all of its armor. And then at the same time, I could use somebody like a shield breaker to kind of ignore it. The shield breaker could be like a reliable person to actually hit the thing from the stars. Now I gotta be careful here because I'm building a comp that's like blighty, but like I can build it in such a way that it's not, because we want to bleed if anything on this location here. So I could switch this over to, we got these two. I guess this is a green tier mission, so there's no chance of my opponents having, yeah. There's no stealthers. So really, I'm going to have to pick an ability that has some kind of blight. So I'm basically just going to be using Pierce the entire time and the occasional Puncture. And then I'll use Impale if I'm in slot 1. That'll be fine. Yeah, this seems fine. This will give our Arbalest a little bit of a chance to develop some more stuff too, because she's loaded, right? Tippler and Risk Taker are just so good as a starting point. No cheats, whatever, we can lock that. We don't care about that. We want to see her, lock something better than what she's got here. Clumsy's bad, Diurnal's bad, Resolution's fine. I'd like to get rid of Clumsy if I can. Is there anybody else I'd rather have? I do like this character. I really like the level Tippler and Risk Taker, same exact quirks as she has. That's funny. Interesting. Would I rather have the Man-at-Arms for this fight? I don't know. I mean, he doesn't have... He's a lower level character. The thing that he has going for him is Bolster's pretty good against the thing from the stars, and it's just good in general. Good stress enemies, but I think we just need raw damage. We've got survivability. Yeah, let's just lean in on what we've got here. I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna make sure everybody's got their stuff leveled up here before I take off, and then be very careful to make sure I enter the right mission. We've had a little bit of a storied past the last few episodes of entering in the wrong mission, which has been a bit embarrassing. We did it once, but it was a big one. I don't really plan on stunning people, but I guess I could. If I was gonna do it, I'm not gonna use Caltrops. This is just not gonna happen. I'm curious as to whether or not the thing from the stars' ability thing. Hold on. I don't know if the thing from the stars. Google, man. Thing from the stars. I'm wondering about its ability when it removes everything from itself. It has that one ability where it removes everything. Behavior. It will appear as a whole, blah, 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 blah. As the thing's attacks, its combat ability increases, granting incredible resistances to direct damage and even more offensive power inside the dungeons. So I'm looking... Return to the Stars is what I was looking for. After using Return to the Stars at the start of the second round, the thing receives a permanent buff. Oh, wait. After using Return to the Stars at the start of the second round, the thing receives a permanent buff of 80% protection, 6 speed, 40% damage, and 30% crit when below 45% health. Oh, okay, because I was like, wait a second, that's just after the second round it gets it? I always thought it was below 50% health. Okay, it's a combination of the two. So, in round one, if you hit it for enough, you can actually get a... You can actually cheese a lot of the damage off of it before it even gets to get the chance to get protection. But most of the time, it's going to have all these stats after it gets below. Okay, that's fine. I'm looking for the ability that it has where it removes... It can remove... It has the ability to remove its status ailments, and I'm trying to see where this is written in the wiki. I can't find it immediately, of course, right now while I'm looking. This is just the lore behind the character, which is cool, but not what I'm looking for. Oh, that's interesting to know. It has a 50% chance to spawn in any of that region's dungeons if it appears on the map. So there's a 50-50 chance. Okay. Inside the dungeons, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about all that. Automatic action at the start of each round. That triggers Return to the Stars, a skill that hits all party members with stress damage. This also spawns a crystalline aberration, deals a small amount of damage to the thing, clears all bleed and blight effects, and if used against a party with only one hero remaining, causes that target to lose their turn, permanently stun locking them. I didn't know that. That's brutal. So if you get down to one person, it just guarantees to beat you. That's awful. But anyway, the thing that I was gonna say though, I've never had that happen. The thing I think is interesting on here, though, is it whenever it does its Return to the Stars ability, it removes the bleed and blight effects, but it doesn't remove other things. So Caltrops is actually a lot better against it than I realized. Because you hit it, you remove its speed, and then it increases the damage it takes for the rest of the fight. That's actually reasonable. I've never used Caltrops against this boss before, so that's kind of interesting to know. So I guess I need to use Caltrops a little bit more. I don't oftentimes think about debuffing enemies as much. In the earlier parts of the game, it doesn't matter that much. You just applying blight, bleed, and, you know, the occasional stun is usually enough. But debuffing is actually something that I need to dive a little bit more into in this game. So we're going to try that here and see if it helps. All right, let's level up Perry here. We know in this mission, it's very strange, but we know that our Plague Doctor on this mission is going to be using Incision, which is kind of the weirdest way of playing this character, because it's not really this character's whole shtick, but that's what we're going to lean in on. We're going to use these abilities here. And I'm not going to use the plague-related things, because we're going to the Wield, which is more susceptible to bleed. And then from here, we'll go ahead and lock in our items, I think, on her. I think I'm going to use the Bloody Herb. Oh, actually, 1 second. I should definitely also level up the armor of these characters who can do that as well. And I believe our Patrice is already fully leveled. Yeah, this character's already got her level 3s on, so let's level the abilities. Let's cleanly level up our abilities before we do anything stupid here. Okay, these we just did. These are already leveled. We just need these ones, the ones that we care about anyway. And then with her, yeah, that's fine. All right, and then from here, we'll go ahead and select items for the characters. For our Plague Doctor here, I'm going to use Blasphemous Vial. No, I'm not going to use Blasphemous Vial. I'm going to use Bloody Herb, and then probably some kind of a, maybe accuracy. What's the accuracy of this ability? 90%? That's pretty bad. But this gives plus 10 accuracy skills. Yeah, pretty good. Let's give, like, Ancestor's Candle or something, which might seem really strange in this class, but it's kind of fun trying something like that. It's a little different here. Elsewise, this mission, I need to pay a little bit more attention to, like, the level of how many Eldritch appear in this mission, because we noted in the last mission that the amount of those, like, humanoid mushroom-looking dudes, the fungus enemies, they were all apparently human Eldritch. So it might be worth considering bringing Eldritch Slayer rings to this location, although that's usually the code that you associate Eldritch people with. Might be worth thinking about, though. What is this item? Stress heal, receive when camping. Scout chance. Decent, but the first part's just mediocre. I like surgical gloves. I think it's kind of bad in this class, because if he gets moved, it really sucks. Maybe it's better to put it on her. Yeah, because she can move. I think surgical gloves are like, I've talked about this in multiple episodes now, but I think that they are sneakily like a blue tier item. I think people sleep on this thing. This thing is stupid. Because the move resist part doesn't even matter, especially if you're putting on a class that has the ability to move itself. It doesn't even matter. We're not going to be using Blight thing. I guess I could still use this Spectral Spear Tip. She's not going to be using Blight related things, but if I use Impale, it will have a higher chance of blighting them on this location. The main reason I'd be running this is it's just a raw 15% damage and a raw 15% max HP, just straight up, which I think is already pretty solid by itself. And probably more fitting than something like Dismas's Head right now, because we don't really need the extra stress for no reason. This is a lower tier mission. From here, let's just go ahead and pick an item that deals extra damage. I just talked about not bringing Dismas's Head, but I think this character should roll with that. We need raw damage on this character, since there's no item that gives armor, or I guess protection penetration or armor penetration. We really need the ability to just deal extra raw damage. I guess we could lean in on a we could do a focus ring, but we already kind of have a focus ring, right? Extra 10 accuracy, extra 6% crit, extra 10 accuracy, extra 5% crit. I think this is just a better item. I mean, this item is literally just better than focus ring on this class. There's no downside. It's just disgusting. Maybe I'd give him Berserk Charm. Give him extra raw damage. Lowers his accuracy a bit, but he's already getting plus 10 off this. And then after that, we'll go ahead and select an item for our Arbalist. The Arbalist is a pretty easy pick here. We've got the same kind of thing going on here, plus 8% accuracy, plus 5% crit. Solid. And then from there, I'm going to make sure I do what I always do, which is slap an Ancestor map on here. Feels like a crime not to bring that item. It's just so busted. All right, and then we'll go ahead and get on in there. We'll do a mission here. Remember, we're gonna go do this mission. Activate 3 infected corpses. We want to get the sunshine in the thicket thing, because if we can do this, then we can leapfrog right into fighting against the third version of the hag, the tier 3 hag, which we haven't done any of the tier 3 enemies yet, but if an opportunity presents itself and we have the people to do it, I mean, look at this. We got a bunch of level 6s and some level 5s that are playable here. We do have a good comp for that, so hopefully we get lucky. We beat this mission, and after that, the enemy at this location drops a upper tier, good enough weapon that's worth going after, like an ancestral or something like that. Hopefully we'll get lucky. I don't need another Hell's Hairpin, so... Alright, let's go in with this. Make sure she has the pierce. Just really paranoid that we accidentally go into the mission without the right items, but that's okay, we're good. Alright, bring our food. We don't have a dedicated healer, so I'll be greedy and bring extra food. Like way more than normal. And then after that, we bring our normal stuff here. When I say normal, what I mean is I usually try to bring like 3 of each of these things. My shovels, I usually try to bring the same amount of shovels as I bring keys, but since this is a wield, I usually try to bring more. I don't know if I need 6. I mean, 5 seems fine. Remember, the wield though has more like trees and more. It has like tombstones. I guess not tombstones, but it has cross like grave sites that you can. There's like a cross marked grave site that you can interact with this. And we had a mission the other day where we actually needed 6 shovels. So, pretty good idea to bring that. From here further, I think we've got everything, right? Yeah, I think we already have everything here. The only thing I need now is torches, and then we're out of here. Medium mission. Only need 14. Oh yeah, it's medium mission. I don't need all that food. That's way too much food. I was thinking it was a long one. That's okay. That's fine. Then then the shovels are probably on the upper end of how much we need. It's kind of weird. Like, you almost need like the same amount of shovels on a medium mission as you need on a long mission, but you just like you need to roll the lower end of that range. Because some medium missions I'll need like 3 shovels, and some medium missions I'll need 5. But then on long missions, some like long missions I'll need like 4 shovels. Other missions I'll need like 6. And so you kind of like aim for 5 on both, and usually it's good enough on both. But sometimes you kind of are left wanting on long missions, and then sometimes on medium missions you go through and you've got maybe 1 or 2 shovels you use, and you're like, wow, what a waste of slot. But on average, over time, it makes up. You know, it becomes normalized. All right, then we can go ahead and jump in there with what we have here. There's a lot else left to say here. I'm just making sure I do my due diligence here and don't forget to bring something here. I think we're good. Medium tier scouting 50%. Yeah, let's go.
As time wore on, her wild policy of self-experimentation grew intolerable. She quaffed all manner of strange fungi, herbs, and concoctions, intent on gaining some insight into the horror we both knew to be growing beneath us.
Well,
the change in her was appalling, and no longer able to stomach it, I sent her to live in the Weald, where her wildness would be welcomed.
That's frustrating. Hold on. This happened to us on the previous episode. I just talked about that in a previous episode.
In the wild corruption here.
Yeah, look, this dungeon is too difficult for me.
Both wretched and malevolent.
Man, I'm not doing this dungeon. This was an accident. This is what I'm talking about. The game has a bug where, yeah, I'm leaving here. I clicked the wrong thing. That's the first time I've ever left a dungeon like that and felt like, God dang it.
Learn from it.
That wasn't my fault. That was the game like having a bug. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So I talked about that in a previous episode. What a heck of a way to start tonight.
I was lord of this place before the crows and rats made it their domain.
It isn't that big of a deal. It's just annoying. So what just happened there? Let me show you what just happened. I had a bunch of level 1s and 2s. I said I was going to go in and I was going to do this green tier mission. Right? I was like, I'm going to go do this green tier mission. We're going to be fine. I didn't get the chance to do it because what happened was I went back home and I had already selected that team, and then I hit embark, and then it changed the mission. Look, it changed the mission I was hovered on. Why does this game do that? As much as I love this game, that is probably my biggest gripe with this game. That's 2 episodes out of like, I think this is episode 35. I played this game a lot, and occasionally that'll bite you, and it's happened like the last few episodes. I really don't like this. If I click some random mission, like right now I'm hovering this, and I go back to the main town screen, and then I click embark, it randomly selects a different mission. Why? Why, game designers? Why is that in here like this? That was not my fault. That was just poor game design. Like that is something that should have been patched out a long time ago, because I had this mission selected and I was like, all right, let's just go do this. We're going to go knock this out. We're going to be in a good spot. Things are going to be fine. The game's like, nope, we're going to punish you. I'm like, that's not right. I shouldn't get punished for like Yeah, anyway, I might still try it just for fun, even though we have an enormous amount of stress. I'm kind of curious, like, to see, like, whether we can push that with what we have. You know what I mean? Like, just go try something like this, but I don't know. Maybe that's greedy. Jimmy James, did you know that you can equip 2 of the same trinket on 1 character? No, I actually did not know that. I've never tried, which is wild to say. No, you can't. Oh, you're saying, do you know? Ah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm calling you out, like, as if you were, yeah, I'm sorry. Good grief. You jumped in at the right time, dude. You waltzed in here right at the time where I make one of the biggest mistakes I've made on this entire YouTube series. That is wild to me. I bet you don't even... Yeah. How are you even going to trust me after I just walked in and did this mission and messed up like that? That's so stupid. I cannot believe I walked in and did this stupid... That really messes with me, too, here, because that kind of throws off our plan on what I was going to do. Because I was going to do the Sunshine in the Thicket mission with these guys... and use these guys to leapfrog us through. I mean, I could still do it. Now I just have to run with a crew of guys, like my second string of guys who can... I mean, I can. Man, that's frustrating. So I'm going to drop these guys out. We're going to remove their stuff, I guess. What a way to waste a week. And that has all these downstream effects, too, because I wasted that week. That means that, like, now infestation levels are even higher. We wasted a week. We didn't gather anything. And then those guys are all more stressed out, so I can't even use them for a few weeks. They got, like, 8 million stress from going to do that mission. That was cheese. The game cheesed us hard there. Sort by level here, and we'll go try to use somebody else. I'm going to still go do this mission, though. We still have enough good guys, like, you know, that can really take care of business. I'm not really that worried about it. I'm just a little annoyed at this moment. Okay, all right, we'll bring in a different crew of guys, and we'll beat it anyway. Crown here is fine, and then after that, really doesn't matter too much who I bring. I can just bring any number of warm bodies and we'll still be fine enough because I got decent items at this stage. The lower tier missions are nowhere near as much of a fear as they once were. So if I do bring you, though, one downside is you have hard noggin, and I'm trying to use the risk taker hard noggin combo with retribution. So I guess I'm going to switch you the highwayman up front, get rid of... He's got hot to trot. Yeah, he's not running any like melee based stuff here, so I'll switch off of these and switch over to all range based attacks. Well, not this, like this, and then I'll pick the belt. Gotta recover quick here. I'm not gonna let that dictate the rest of this mission or the rest of the night. That's frustrating, but whatever. All right, so Sunring's probably fine, and then you're gonna be dealing a lot of damage for us. I'm not gonna roll with since we don't have any primary stress reliever. I'm gonna stay away from the Dismas's heads and the items that deal a lot of damage, but also, you know, put us in a pickle when it comes to stress. So we'll roll like this here. This is a good example of, like, where I love the Ancestor's Candle, but, you know, the Leper in general, it's a match made in heaven to just roll with this pair of items. These 2 items together are just disgusting on the Leper. The Leper extra crit percent plus 8%, and then plus 3 speed is great. I mean, the minus 33% healing received doesn't even matter. The character doesn't really care. I mean, most of the time the character is so tanky, it doesn't even end up mattering. We don't even have a primary healer. So we'll just bring extra food to kind of make up for that between fights. But the focus ring, the extra 10 accuracy plus 8%, plus 5% crit, so we got 8% plus 5%. Over here, so you got 13 off the trinket, 1 from the weapon base. He's only level 1. But then Chop also has a 4% chance to crit. Like, this character, especially further on, is going to be able to crit like just often, and it's just a wild amount of damage. Because remember, you know, we've got a level 2 guy over here. His damage range on this level 2 highwayman is only 7 to 13 of the base attack, whereas the leper is only level 1, and his damage range is between 8 and 16. This guy hits like a truck. Downside, obviously, is he's lower accuracy. We'll make up for that. Give him a focus ring, and then you don't have to worry about it. Now, over here on the Shield Breaker is, you know, not going to deal anywhere near as much damage to the Leper, but she's far more consistent because she plays, you know, really well with armor enemies. You run with Pierce, and then you basically say, I don't really care what you're doing. I'm going to hit you for the raw damage I want to deal every single time. It's not going to deal as much, but it will always hit for that consistent amount. The Highwayman is kind of in a weird situation here. I'm really kind of a little frustrated with him being in slot 4. It's just awkward, right? Because I can't use Grape Shot Blast, but I can use Pistol Shot. So maybe I just don't worry about it and just use Pistol Shot and just keep killing people. Damage modification minus 15%. Why is that? That seems kind of strange. Like, I don't understand why this needs a damage modifier subtractor. I mean, it deals more damage versus marked, which I understand. But why does it deal less? It's not like it's hitting multiple targets. Its crit percentage is pretty high. Maybe that's why. To kind of simulate like the idea that it's like, oh yeah, it's still a bullet, but occasionally it'll hit you in the right spot. It's like it creates these epic moments. Okay, sure, yeah, that's fine. But we're gonna just roll with pistol shot, have him in slot 4. I guess if that's the case, if I'm gonna have him in slot 4 and dedicate him to slot 4, maybe I give him, instead of Sun Ring, maybe I give him Sniper's Ring. He's pretty accurate though already, right? 90% accuracy is actually not that great. If enemies have like 10 dodge, and suddenly he's only hitting 1 out of every 5, or he's only hitting 4 out of 5 attacks. Oh wait, no, never mind. We have Gunslinger's Blade. Or Gunslinger's Buckle. Literally the opposite of the Blade. He's not using anything melee related, so this will actually work out well. The Sun Ring will make up for the extra. Yeah, there we go. We got a lot of accuracy coming out of these 2 items. So we got 20 extra accuracy on top of the 110% accuracy. The reason that matters is because if we see dogs, and dogs have like 20 dodge, this will kind of offset that. No, the dogs in the lower tier missions like that don't have that, but we do have a medium tier level of infestation right now, which then creates this downstream effect where, like, if we run into any of those, like, bloodsucker sycophants, the mosquito guys, those guys have like 20 base dodge at the start of the game, I think. It might be 10, but I think it's like they're really high. It's annoying how high their dodge is. So he'll be able to snipe away any one of them we want him to with pistol shot. Well, not the first slot, but we're not worried about first slot. We've got enough people that can deal with slot 1. Yeah, we're just gonna jump right back in, despite the fact that we just kind of got punched in the gut there. That really did suck, but it's not that big of a deal. We've played well enough over the course of this campaign. We played smart enough, I think, conservatively enough with our money and stuff that I think we're gonna be just fine. As I said before here, I don't really like Captivate or Expose on earlier tier missions because there's just no... Well, Captivate's a different thing, but I meant to say Expose. Expose is good against stealth. There's no stealth at low tier missions, so we're going to take Impale, which might seem a little strange, but, you know... we talked earlier about how at higher tier levels, Impale actually does Blight. At lower tier missions, it doesn't even Blight, so it's not like we're missing out on the Blight against enemies that are Blight resistant at this tier. It doesn't even apply Blight at low levels. Despite the fact that the icon looks like it, usually the green indicates that it's a Blight skill. This doesn't even start applying Blight till I think level 2 or level 3 or whatever this, however you want to say that. Here resolve level 1. Yeah, so I think like the Impale level 2 is when it starts to apply Blight. But we're gonna go with Puncture because she can remove guard if that ends up coming up. These are the only skills that really even matter on a mission where enemies are resistant to Blight. Like, these are the only skills you'd really want to use. And we're going to be using Pierce nonstop most of the fight. It's just going to be Pierce, moves forward, and then immediately Impale to slide back. Pierce, move forward, Impale, slide back. And then our Leper is just going to just constantly chop. I guess you can... Hugh's not actually terrible. The weird thing about Hugh is it's also just lower accuracy. The downside about Hugh is it's funny. Like, Chop is like pound for pound a stronger ability because it has 80% accuracy. This ability has 80% accuracy. This ability has 4% crit. This ability has negative 3% crit. So it's like never gonna crit. This ability has raw 100% damage. This ability has minus 50% but hits 2 targets. So they both do the same amount of damage in raw stats, but just one does it to 1 target, the other one does it to 2 targets and splits the difference. But this ability has a negative crit modifier, which makes this just a higher total damage output over an entire mission. It's a stronger ability, raw. This is more utility focused. Like if you're fighting a bunch of crap mobs, it can be useful against spiders, things like that, because it does enough raw damage it can just wipe out a few lower tier enemies. But then you get into trouble with this ability against things like I said, the sycophants, the things that are dogs, because you can't even hit them, right? He's got no accuracy. But this ability is just wildly powerful against bosses. So I'm not even going to level the other things because we're not going to use them, and I'm going to save a little bit of money since we just wasted our money on provisions. And I mean, we have a decent amount of money. I've been saving money for quite a while. We got 140,000 gold, you know, so 6 digits. We're totally fine on money, but I'm trying to keep it up there around 150,000 so we never have to think about money anymore and just live off the interest from the bank. But yeah, as far as squad goes here, there's not a lot to say. I'm just going to drop items on people and then I'll talk about it afterwards here. We got the items selected that we want here. On the Man-at-Arms, I've got too many options at this stage. Between the Ancestor's Bottle, which I said is really strong on him, you know, him just being so tanky, as well as the Guardian Shield, but we can't use Guardian Shield because he's not in slot 4. I like the protection ring, but the protection, or the tough ring, I meant to say, but the tough ring's weird because it's almost like build your own miniature version of Barristan's head plus the Ancestor's Bottle. Remember, the Ancestor's Bottle gives 25% max HP, Barristan head gives plus 25% protection, and so together it's almost like they put like an extra buffer of like enormous shield of health on top of him. But then this is like plus 10% protection, plus 15% max HP, but like lower damage. So in my mind, you run with Ancestor's Bottle and you use Barristan's head. You run with these two items whenever you have the Man-at-Arms in any slot except slot 4. Because he's going to have more health and more protection, and then you're going to keep on using Retribution here to keep on riposting back and setting yourself up, marking yourself so that they attack you. It's like, all right, now attack me. I'm marked, nobody else on my team is, so I represent, like, you know, the person you're going to hit most often, and I'm going to have higher armor in this game, protection, and higher health. You're going to hit me and I'm going to fling you back, or I'm going to punch you back in the face for it. But you can't use Retribution in slot 4, right? This ability only works in slots 1 through 3, which then means if I'm going to be using the Man-at-Arms and I'm going to be using putting them in slot 4, I want Guardian Shield, which is the only item that really, you know, references spot 4 exactly, and then that's when I think I'd throw on that tough ring, right? Because he's dealing 15% less damage. That stat line literally doesn't matter though, because if you're rolling with the Man-at-Arms in slot 4, you're using Bellow, Defender, Command, and Bolster, and none of these abilities target and or actually deal damage to enemies. So minus 15% doesn't matter, right? You're literally that ability right there where it says minus 15% damage is a downside that doesn't exist on this. So he just on him, this ability just says plus 10% protection, plus 15% max HP, plus 10% stress. Pretty good deal, honestly. And it's, again, as I said, it's like a build your own Barristan's head plus, like, you know, Ancestor's Bottle. Not as strong. It's only 10%, 15% instead of 25 and 25, but it's only one slot, and you don't have to have any of the downside. There's, instead of getting 10% stress, or you're only getting 10% stress instead of getting 10% plus an extra 20%. Instead of generating an extra 30%, you're only generating an extra 10%. That's huge. Plus you have an extra slot, which then you can use with the Guardian Shield, and then if you have like a Vestal or an Occultist, then the dude is just literally never going to die. The downside, though, is now you've got a Man-at-Arms that's literally never going to deal damage, like ever. So you've got a whole slot that doesn't do anything. So you need like 2 characters that are up front that are dealing enormous amounts of damage, like a Leper, you know, somebody that just deals a lot of damage, maybe a Hellion, something like that, and then some kind of an off healer, usually like an Occultist is fine, but I'd honestly almost say I'd rather have like an Arbalest in slot 3 if I was going to bring this version of the build for the Man-at-Arms, because the Arbalest can triage heal him with the Battlefield Bandage and heal him when necessary, but most of the time, like, reset herself and be focused on dealing damage, and she can be your 3rd damage dealer to make up for the fact that you got one dude that's never attacking. But then keep him alive, right? And it's like, oh yeah, but this ability doesn't do that much healing. Yeah, but he's running with this ability, this Guardian Shield, which gives him plus 50% healing received if in position 4. So the fact that her heal is not as strong as the Occultists or the Vestals would not matter. Right, personally, I think that's the proper way of using that combo. I think having an Arbalest in slot 3 and having a Man-at-Arms in slot 4 is what you want to do if you're going to run with this item, the Tough Ring combo with the, where'd it go? Where'd it go? My brain is not seeing the, oh, that's because I'm hovering over the Arbalest. The Guardian Shield, right? The Guardian Shield and the Tough Ring, I think, are a fantastic combination, but they're a very niche way of playing the Man-at-Arms. Pretty clearly, he can only be in slot 4. But, like, I think it's more niche than it even looks like, right? You really have to optimize the person that you want to have on the team to make up for it. Because a Vestal alongside, if you have a Vestal healing the Man-at-Arms, and Man-at-Arms is in slot 4, and he's not dealing any damage, the Vestal doesn't deal any damage either. Now you got 2 people that are not dealing damage, keeping each other alive, but this game is not about, like, staying alive. This game is about killing your opponent before they stress you out, and, like, all these other things that can happen to you too. So if your plan is to stay alive and outlast your opponent, unless you have some, like, really raw high stats and you're fighting an under-leveled mission and your guys are all level 2 and you're doing a short green mission or something like that, and you're just going to crush them through raw damages anyways, that's not a winning strategy. You want to win soon, right? You want to be using this battlefield triage, battlefield bandage ability as little as possible, but you're going to get a lot more value out of it, right? Whereas with an Occultist, if I go to heal this dude, right? If I go to heal this Man-at-Arms guy, and he's rolling around with 35 health, and I've got this other item on him. I've got this Guardian Shield on him. I got him in slot 4. He's got this Guardian Shield. He's at 35 health, and I used the Occultist to heal him. He's going to heal for fucking like 50. It's like way over the top. There's no, you're leaving value on the table by having a healer heal him that's over healing him. And it's not like you get a shield for over healing in this game or something like that. I feel like the Occultist is like the wrong person to have alongside the Man-at-Arms if your goal is to go Guardian Shield toughening. I'd much rather do the Occultist with him if I was going to have Ancestor's Bottle with Barristan's Head, have him up front, have him running with Retribution and marking himself, which then takes the pressure off the Occultist. The Occultist then can focus on healing him while he just tanks for days and days and days. At that point too, you could also make an argument about maybe not even rolling with the Barristan's Head, and instead picking something like the Garlic or something like that that decreases his chance of being bled, because the Occultist will bleed, right? And removing bleed and blight, the chance of being blood or blight, is very strong in tanks in general. But anyway, that's a very big deep dive into that class. But I could talk about, I mean, any specific class like that for quite a while. After having played for a little while, I love hearing people's opinions on things. But it's so funny because there are definitely a lot of builds that I've wanted to try out that I haven't got the chance to try out. But I think I had a lot of fun the first time I played through and tried. I was like, what would it look like to play like a Master and Commander back slot, you know, old man yells at cloud, kind of like, it just reminds me of my high school football coach. Just had the Man-at-Arms in the back just yelling at you, telling you what to do, and it's just like, dude, get out here and fight yourself. And he's just yelling commands. But I think it'd be a really cool combination, and I might try that here in a little bit. It's actually a really possible thing to run against the Swine Prince too, because the Swine Prince attacks 2 people at a time, and if you have a lot of times does, right? Because Wilbur will mark 2 people, but then use the Arbalist and you run with Rallying Flare to remove the marks while Wilbur's marking them, so that you let you take less damage, and then you just bring like you bring the Man-at-Arms, and you also bring the Highwaymen, and then you just keep on riposting, and then every time he like tries to hit you for a bunch, you hit him back. Enemies that attack multiple targets at once are really good candidates to have riposte style abilities. I don't think that's really that groundbreaking though, so I'm not going to go into that. I think that's pretty obvious. All right, from here though, I think we're good. I'm going to go ahead and jump into the game here. I've kind of talked at length about this. Make sure I pick those items I was talking about. Again, since he is in slot 3, and we're going to be using Retribution, we will be using, I think, a combination between Ancestor's Bottle and Barristan's Head here. We have to remember though, I think, oh no, never mind. I was going to say we did bring in the previous team. I had the Highwaymen, and I was rolling with the Bounty Hunter. I mean to say, the one that we just kind of got beat up on, and we accidentally walked in with. There it is. We accidentally walked into a mission that we shouldn't have walked into because the game kind of trolled us a bit there. Hunter's Talent actually is also consuming extra food, so you got to watch out when you're bringing multiple of these because it'll sneak up on you. All of a sudden you're consuming 6 food per hunger check. That's a lot of food real fast. Yeah, I guess maybe you're level 2. I need you to have this. What is your chance of removing a trap? Pretty bad, right? 60%? That's not, I mean, it's not good. 60%. Yours is obviously really high. I already know that. My thinking here is he's level 2. I'm going to have to rely on him to deal damage. My thinking is I was going to give the Ancestor's map to the Man-at-Arms, since the Man-at-Arms is only level, what, 0? Level 1? You know, weirdly enough, I could give it to her. She doesn't deal as much damage, right? She's gonna be one of our damage dealers. I don't know. I think the Ancestor's map is like too good to leave on the table a lot of the times. Let's go ahead and do that instead of the Barristan's Head, just because we're in a lower tier mission. It probably doesn't matter as much. We're probably not going to take not that much of a stressful situation here. I guess I could also switch Spectral Spear Tip for Ancestor's Candle. I think Spectral Spear Tip is just an incredible item, but since she's level 0, I'm going to try to push for extra damage here. And as I said before, I think Surgical Gloves are just stupid. I think this is like low-key, I think this is like a blue item. And like a very good blue item. I think people sleep on this item 8% crit +5 accuracy. Like, people will look at this ability and compare them and say that they're similar to like the focus ring but with more downside, but I disagree. The focus ring gives +10 accuracy, +5 crit. This item gives +8 crit, +5 accuracy. It's not so focused on accuracy. Well, in lower tier missions, enemies aren't that dodgy, so I don't really need extra accuracy, but extra crit, that's a lot of crit, guys. 8% crit's a lot. And you might think, well, yeah, but it also has a chance of, like, you know, you have a higher chance of getting moved around. Yeah, at lower tier missions where, like, occasionally somebody will, like, Eldritch push you or something, you don't get moved around much at lower tier missions at all. This item, in my opinion, is, like, legendary early roll. Like, if you get this in the early game, every melee character should just run it the whole early game. There's not a single character in the game that won't benefit from it. If you have the Crusader, all you gotta do is throw on Holy Lance, and if he gets displaced to the back, rush forward. You can ignore the move resist. And at lower tier enemies don't also really debuff you ever, or debuffs don't really matter that much. So the two top parts are it's just disgusting. Then if you have like the flagellant gets rolled to back slot, just runs the front slot. Remember, the flagellant can move 3 slots forward. He can only move 1 slot back, but he can run forward. And he's always in the front anyway. So if he gets moved to the back, just run into the forward or run into the front. He doesn't even care if this happens to him if he gets moved. There are a few classes I would never run this on, right? I would never put it on, like, the Leper if I was in a boss, because that could be a nightmare, right? You know, imagine running this, and then you go burn a torch, and you fight the Shambler. The Shambler starts the mission, puts the Leper in the back slot. You're crying. You're crying. That's like... you deserve that. But in a lot of characters, like Moduet here, right, like this shield breakers move themselves all the time. She's in slot 3, she can move forward multiple spots. So there's really no reason not to abuse this item. I think this item is just disgusting. I think it's really, really powerful. All right. I mean, I'm in a week 83 or whatever it was. What did that say? Week 84. Can't believe this. Our whole catalog has been pretty good, and then all of a sudden this week it was like, that's the first time this entire campaign I've entered a mission and left. A few weeks ago we had 2 bad weeks in a row, didn't we? What was the other week where we had some people get wiped? We had 1 week where a bunch of guys got wiped because I accidentally had that same bug happen. That was twice in a row, twice in like 3 episodes that's happened. Out of 83 game weeks in game, I've had this happen twice, and they've both happened within the last like 5 in-game weeks, where I accidentally entered the wrong mission because I went back to the main screen like this, and burns me. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and try this mission again. I don't think we're in a bad spot. This team is fine. So, I mean, they're all pretty strong here. I've been working extra hard to make sure everybody gets the chance to lock good quirks, so, and been aggressive about dropping people who I thought were kind of not too good. So, one little mistake there. I did not level his level 2 abilities, because we did switch over to those. Yours were already all leveled though, right? Yeah, because you're going to be in the slot 3. Oh no, we went to level of Retribution. My mistake. You're in slot 3. You can't... oh, you can stun from slot 3. I guess I forgot. That's crazy. Let's go with this. I actually really do like Bellow. If you can go first round with Bellow, even on low tier missions against the sycophants, like the bloodsuckers, getting that -5 speed and that -6 dodge can matter a lot against the mosquitoes, because it can make you guys go before they do, and it can also make sure that when your attacks, go off, they do hit. Then the extra dodge they have is really, you can feel that at lower tier missions. You really can. As I said, I don't see a world where I'm using anything on the Leper other than these 2 abilities. I guess there's a non-zero chance that I need to heal and remove some stress. Let's do that. I don't need anything else though on him right now. And I guess one last time, check Moduet real quick here. Yeah, she's already good. Let's go play a game. I'm ready to play. Should have already had one happen. Oh, one downside to this though is now we're not really ready for the thing from the stars the way we would have been before, because now we don't actually have I guess we do have, the shield breaker does have the ability to pierce, so we're okay there, but she's our lower tier person, and the Leper's kind of mediocre against the thing from the stars. I mean, the first round can hit for a lot, but the 80% protection is just disgusting. It just absolutely destroys him. So I guess maybe what we focus on is, yeah, I guess what's going to have to happen is maybe I use the Leper to hew constantly and destroy the crystal and get a little bit of chip damage on him, and then I'll have the other guys all focus him down. Or I could also just have the Man-at-Arms use... No, I'm not going to bring Crush. So yeah, I'll just use Hew over and over and over again to try to break the crystal. that it creates if it appears. All right, let's go. So I should have caught that this wasn't that mission because we didn't have the potent salves. I didn't even notice. Man. That's what happens when you get to talking sometimes while getting ready for a game. Where this is a medium tier wheeled mission, and that you generally in the wheel I try to bring 4 shovels just in general. Sometimes even 5. It's medium tier. I can bring 5. Remember, if you use one at the start of the mission, then you have a whole stack that's like full. It's not just trees that you have to worry about in the wheel. There's also tombstones, or I keep saying tombstones, but yeah, that's actually accurate. Like the crucifix-looking tombstones, like the cross marked graves, that you can also dig up as well. Bandages are a little bit more useful than anti-venom, I guess. Well, strictly speaking, you can use anti-venom also to, like, the acid. We learned that in the previous episode. You can use this on key slots as well. Anything that you could open with a skeleton key, you can also just open with anti-venom by kind of using it as acid to burn the lock, I guess is the idea. But a lot of the times, like, the use of the anti-venom in this mission is going to be the stumps. Because there's, like, these stumps that you can pour the acid on to, like, cure the stump or whatever, I guess is the idea. Medium tier mission, you only need 12 or so. Cool. Torches. Did I bring holy water? Yeah, I'll bring a few of these, and then we can go. I don't think all companions. Yeah, that'll probably be what we do as weapons practice here. Do we have? Oh yeah, actual damage to range skills. I didn't even look at what my. Oh, and we don't have any ability to avoid being snuck up on in the middle of the night, which does suck, but we have finished all of our shield breakers nightmares, so we're okay there. Let's go play. All right, I'm excited.
Excise the fungal tumors, and the land may yet live.
All right, see, this is why I bring the extra shovel, because, you know, the wheel just has so many random things. Oh, that is so nice. Start the mission off right, get rid of a random thing, where it leaves a little bit of the pressure on our inventory for the rest of the mission. That's fantastic. Doesn't quite make up for accidentally wasting an entire week, but we're gonna manage. We're fine.
Nature herself, a victim to the spreading corruption, malformed with misintent.
All right. I'm just thinking about whether or not I want Moduate to be in slot 1. Yeah, because she has Impale. Yes. All right. Now this is like the thing we were worried about, right? We want to take care of these guys quick, but the problem is the old leper doesn't really have a lot of ways of dealing with these guys because they have just huge amounts of protection. But this is also an apprentice tier mission, so I guess they aren't as strong. He might just be able to outright kill one. I'm gonna go for Hugh though, and the reason is because she's gonna impale, our shield breaker's gonna impale afterwards. I'm trying to deal as much damage as possible to as many targets as possible. All right, here, let's just go for a retribution. She's not gonna kill them with impale, but we'll wipe them in 2 rounds. So now the downside of this way that I'm doing this is it does invite multiple checks of the Crimson Curse, but we're fine.
Oh, okay. Great. Broken. Maintain the offensive.
The Crimson Curse is not much of a concern right now. That's really good for us. Awesome.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Well, we were very fortunate. No Crimson Curse there. Just go for a huge hit.
Destroy.
And then we can kill the other one with our highwaymen. That worked out really nice. It doesn't really matter what you do here. You can't reach the final guy. Retribution can hit him, but we're gonna kill him anyways. Sure. What do we have here? How much? You're taking 2 per round. It's worth going ahead and removing that from you. Anti-venom you, and then we'll shoot you. Kill this guy.
Confidence surges.
Yeah, that raw damage is so high. Wow, okay. A random Book of Rage. It's a lot of random resources really quickly. We even got our acid back. That's funny. I'll take this. I'm not going to worry about the 100 gold. I mean, that doesn't really matter that much here. This book is worth... Oh, there we go. This is what the acid's for, right? The antidotes. Anti-venom, I'm going to say. It's called anti-venom, but like it's kind of treated like acid for this part.
With loot are often low on supplies.
Now it's actually a really question. Do I want to use this? I might actually just drop the torches. I think we can run all the way to the bottom on just this.
Gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
Think of it this way. Essentially what I'm saying is if I go all the way down and then back up, I can go to this final room The room to the right. After we go in this room, I'll show you what I mean. I can use firewood when we get back to this room. I'm gonna exhaust the left path first, and when we come back, I can use the firewood. I'm not gonna open anything until we come all the way back, though. Hunger checks make that less likely. Hunger checks, especially this early, are really painful on camping. But we already dropped our torches, so that's unfortunate. Oh, this is really nice, though. Finding these early is really good in these kind of missions. It's not just that it relieves space in your inventory. Wow. It's not just that it removes space in your inventory. It's also the fact that its other effect is that it finishes the mission very quickly, so that if you need to get the heck out, you can. Okay, so this is actually a pretty good comp to fight against these guys. The only downside is, I guess, I did not actually roll, because we have 2 guys that actually have riposte, but I did not lock riposte in this mission. That sucks. So you're gonna basically just start the fight off with tracking shot, and then just, yeah, we could still do this. Riposte is really good against these guys, like really good. And then you have the ability to like hit with impale, and we can chop away the 2 guys. I mean, we can do this fight. Our highwayman's going to be hyper focused on killing the shambler. Yeah, this is fine. Although we're going to be really struggling on torches after this. All right, we can do this.
A star spawned.
That's fine. All right, so we're going to start off with you moving her back 1. And then after that, we will just hit you. I need her to be in slot 3 so she can move forward with her attacks. And then you will go ahead and use your bolster here and start making it so that we're less likely to get hit by all this random stress and crap that this guy's going to hit us with odorous advancement. All right, from here, again, our leper's going to be just focusing on hewing the front line. And actually, the first time it'll go like this. Oh, dodge is bad. That sucked. That sucks. Okay, we're having some bad luck on crits and dodges here. See, he's got the focus ring, so we were kind of hoping we wouldn't see that happen, but wow. Okay. I want him to shoot that, but I have to play conservative.
Gone, fiend.
And now I'm going to go ahead and use Retribution here. I need to remove the blood off this guy here real quick. How much bleed do you guys have? You all have 2s. I'm going to go ahead and use bandages aggressively here, and we will Retribution these guys. Retribution the little ones here. Start to build up the riposts. Yep, that's good. See, riposte is really good against this guy. Him going first is gross. Man, the fact that we missed with that leper, you can see the downstream effects of missing with the leper right now. It's really bad. All right. Lepers. She's going to hit for level 2 if she attacks it. This is not the proper time for her to use. Yeah, let's attack him. The reason I chose to do it this way is because since she's in slot 1, I want her to stay in slot 1, our shield breaker, until he respawns more of these little clappers so that she can immediately use Impale and hit multiple targets with it. Right now would be not the most advantageous time to do it. This is an awkward timing, but I'm going to go ahead and now use this. I had to start the mission by using this. I didn't get a chance to use this ability like I wanted to because they were misplaced in slots. So I guess there's a choice to be made. I either use this now, which I think is still proper because it still has half its health left. We get our buff on for the rest of the fight, and just kill this one. We have to kill that. Those do so much damage. We're gonna have to camp pretty quickly after this. This thing has really high percentage chance to not be stunned, so we're not even gonna go for that. I'm just gonna get another riposte started. It only has 2 more rounds. I guess I could. What's its dodge chance? No, it has 33% protection. Yeah, let's just riposte. It's not the most efficient use of this round, but it keeps it back up to. All right. Yeah.
Such a terrible assault cannot be left unanswered.
All right. We need a few things to go right these next 2 rounds, but those guys going first is brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Oh, that's good though. Well, they're dodging everything. It looks like. All right, so I'm gonna hew here.
Another one falls.
That's where that ability's good. Cool. Wow, those are not hitting for a lot. Well, we were struggling a bit, I'm gonna be honest with you. Things are not going well for us right here. Yep. And then got killed one, which is really key here. I'm gonna try to go for a stun on this thing. Not lucky. Man, the thing keeps getting it.
Unnerved, unbalanced.
Okay. Yep. Just go for the. Actually, he will help. That's good. Stings at 18.
A faint hope
Yep.
blossoms.
All right. I don't have any way of removing the bleed from him, so we're essentially hoping he doesn't die here.
Ringing ears, blurred vision.
Yep.
The end approaches.
This is not going really well here. We've been very unfortunate with how this mission has happened here. I need to kill it because there's an off chance if I kill him and like really quickly here, which the shield breaker can kill it. If I don't miss, man, brutal.
Injury and despondence set the stage for
All right. The downside about this fight is that we don't kill the clapper claws. They get to keep doing their thing. All right. So I'm gonna have to eat food as soon as this mission ends. He's dead. Oh, he dodged. Clutch. But he still is gonna bleed, so he could just die anyway. I'm doing this because I want the special item. There's a chance I could get a special item. Now, if we lose the highwayman, that'll suck, but we can still. I still consider this a successful mission if we get the last Ancestor's item.
As life ebbs,
Yep.
terrible vistas of emptiness reveal themselves.
Yep. All right, now you cannot Solemnity here, which is just god-awful. Moving forward, we rolled really poorly here. Yep. We rolled really poorly with the early dodge. Yep. If we get out of this with our guys, that's gonna be crazy. We're just gonna go home if we do, though. Maybe we get this kill. The dodges are just out of control. We've been so unfortunate with these dodges. Like, so unfortunate with these dodges. Stun him, please. Finally. The other guys are gonna die. Oh, wow. Bleed's gone. Oh, we can leave. Or I can even... Oh, there it is. That's the last item. That's what I wanted. I wanted that last item. Awesome.
Push on to the task's end.
All right, we actually don't have to leave, which looks wild, but I can actually keep these guys alive with a very quick food check here. Get them both a little bit of food, keep them off death's door, switch them. What's the outlook looking like forward here? So I'm going to be a little greedy here and just go for some heals here. This mission looks really dire right now, but we're not actually in a bad spot. Yep, I know you're at death's door. It's fine. It's fine.
Teetering on the brink, facing the
I'm gonna
abyss.
camp as soon as we go in this next room. Get us a torch though, just in case there's some stupid enemy in this room. If we can make it through whatever this fight is, we'll be okay. If there's no fight, we're great. Yeah, we're fine. Awesome.
A moment of respite. A chance to steel oneself against
I guess you
the
wanted to
coming
die for
horrors.
some reason? Why did you do that? Yeah, we're probably just gonna have to leave if he's gonna do that. If he's gonna do that crap. Wow. Alright, prevents nighttime ambush, we're kinda like priced into that here. And then here, do I bring you up here? I don't even know if it's really worth it. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use wound care on him. This is so brutal. Oh, I can't do it that way. Yeah, this is not going well. I was very unfortunate with the last... This is probably the worst last few missions I think I've had. Again, if I leave here, it's still a win because I got Ancestor Scroll. Remember, the clapper is actually like... Not the clapper, but the old Shambler. I just got the 5th and final item from the Shambler. That's the reason why I was so greedy. I was like, let's just go do it. If we have to leave, I'm okay with it. It is really awkward, though. I just feel like Like, I sat down, I was like, let's play some Darkest Dungeon. I started the first mission, the game bugged out on me, and I went into the wrong mission. And the second mission's like, hey, let's have the Shambler immediately. I'm like, okay. A fight right away. 2 fights. And that was so cheese. I ate all that food, and this guy got, like, stressed out. I don't like how, like, this guy just took extra stress and then took damage from being stressed out. It was on death's door, so he decided to kill himself, I guess. I'm just gonna probably just back. I'm gonna be honest with you. We don't even have a real heal left. Maybe I just remove stress from you. I'm just thinking about, like, if there's any legitimate way of actually playing this, and I don't think there is. I think we just have to go with what we have, which is awful. All right, you heal. Problem is, I just don't have any real way of. Yeah, we're gonna leave here. These guys are just all freaking out and angry. Victory. Let's just go ahead and call it here. I did still win, despite the fact that I lost, because I got this Ancestor Scroll. I wanted that last item. Now, hopefully, the next week isn't brutal like this. Yep. Blah 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 blah. We had a bad few weeks. This is the worst set of 2 weeks I've ever had. My God. Sluggers are really good upside to this whole thing, though, considering. That's good. Now, let's see if we can come back.
No rest. No peace for this wretched soul.
This might make up for it. Why is everybody just, like, yeah, one group of people stressed out because we accidentally went into the wrong mission, man. Oh yeah, Paradigm Mania is bad. On Guard's good. Quick Reflexes is good. This is Talvasi. I don't know who that is. I don't even remember that guy. This is who I wanted to see come back. One of our occultists. This is huge. Unquiet Mind, Bad Gambler, Luminous Beastslayer is insane. That's what I wanted to see. She's got, yeah, we don't care about her. I remember her. We don't need her. Yeah, he's who I wanted to see come back, so that's great. Now I can actually think about dropping somebody. That kind of made up for a little bit of the nonsense that's been happening the last few weeks. All right, let's look and see here. I'm not going to look at anything until I go in here. All right, not sort by stress, sort by class. We got 2 of, like, everybody, right? Basically now. I think we have 3 of our Hound Masters. Maybe we got rid of 1. Oh, yeah, we did get rid of 1. We do have 3 Arbalists, though, and I talked about why that was. It was because this one had Eagle Eye, and I wanted to keep her because she has Tippler Risk Taker, which is really good. This one has Clodder and Unerring, which is okay. She's already level 3, which is why I thought about keeping her, whereas this one, she doesn't have all of her stuff leveled, but she had Hippocratic, which is crazy. Pretty strong in this class. And the Natural Eye is okay. Not, admittedly, I don't think it's not as good as, like, Clodder or Unerring, which I think Unerring is slightly better than Natural Eye. Not crazy much better, but fine. I'm probably just going to drop her, though. I mean, I'm going to be real with you. Like, this Clodder's fine, but I just think the Hippocratic is so strong that it's worth keeping her just off the back of that. And then from here, I think Moyen here. As much as I like Moyen's, like, start, I like her Clodder and I like her Unerring. This Pantsville already has Tippler and Risk Taker. She has 2 of the best, like, well, Risk Taker's one of the top 2 best quirks to lock that's bad, but... So let's let go of Moyen. I took her on the off chance, you know... whatever, but I'd rather just take back our occultists. Oh, I can buy the padlock. Just buying the padlock. I've been wanting that for a while. That's great. I guess one upside, having had a bad few weeks in a row, we get to see the cart real quick. That's funny. This character already has enormous amounts of blight resist. Jeez, 90%. Thick-blooded made it even better. Luminous is cool, and so is Tippler. Man, but we've already got 2 really good vessels. Don't care about any of that. Clutch Hitter's really cool. I mean, really good in this class. Sort by class. We do have 2. Yeah. You have Eldritch Hater and Slugger. Slugger's worse than, you know, the other ability I just talked about, Clutch Hitter, but you've got Clodder, Slugger, Beast Hater. You've got Eldritch Hater, Slugger. Need to roll something else, but yeah, we don't need another. I would take Norman, like, instantly off of what we got here. Oh, wow. Infirm is real bad. Ugh. But it'd be an easy one to remove. No, not light sensitive and night blindness. Dude, this guy can't see at all. He hates the dark and he hates the light. Okay. All right, yeah, I don't really care about any of these guys, but I do want to drop the 3rd Arbalist The one I picked up last week off the chance that I was like, oh, until we find something better, I'll keep her. But I'm just going to drop her and immediately pick up our occultist.
The task ahead is terrible, and
Pick him back
weakness
up.
cannot be tolerated.
Fantastic. Yeah, I got my occultist back, which is nice. Now I got to take a minute to look at the damage I dealt from. But man, what a bad few weeks in a row. Like, it was kind of bad, but kind of not bad, right? Like, not a very good 2 weeks because we accidentally brought the game bugged again and decided that it was going to take a group of guys to an apprentice tier mission. I had a bunch of level 0s and 1s that I brought to an apprentice tier mission a second. This happened 2 episodes ago, and then it happened again. I was like, I'm never going to let that happen again. And the game was like, nope, let's do it twice. I'm like, oh man, that did suck. We got some random dudes stressed out that didn't need to be, but they'll get their stress relief over time. I guess I could buy Puppet Theater. Do I have that? Do I have enough to buy it? I guess I still need a little bit more crest to get there, and I'd spent all that to instead go for the, what was it I bought? It said Training Ring instead, I think. So we're kind of seeing a little bit of a punishment there, right? We don't get the extra stress relief for multiple weeks in a row. I don't care that much, though. But then when we had to leave with everybody else, we didn't even get the chance to actually beat the second time we went to go do that mission. The game did not want us to go and get that Sunshine in the Thicket. That was 2 weeks in a row we got blocked from that. But the upside, though, was we did walk out of there with the final Ancestors item. So I say the final one. I mean the final one you get from the Shambler. All 5 of these are the Shambler items. So we've got all those knocked out. And I didn't even really look at this one. Plus 20% healing skills, plus 25% stress skills. Honestly, what a weird item. Like, to me, the best use case of this is probably on the Crusader. Is that right? I mean, I guess technically you could put it on a... You could give the Ancestor Scroll to the Leper or to the Abomination and just make their Absolution and, like, Solemnity, like, self-heals that are also self... stress relievers. You could just make those very, very potent, but that just seems like a losing battle. But the value of this, I think, is mostly in, weirdly enough, I think the power of this would probably come from the Crusaders, like, inspiring cry. Right? Because it's just going to heal for just a little bit more, and then that just seems strange. What a weird item. Why does it also give them plus 10% stress? This is an interesting item, but it's not for the Vestal, right? But it's also not for the Occultist, but it's also not for the Jester. Like, who do you use this on? I guess it could be used on the Houndmaster for lick wounds, but then also for Howl or Hounds, not Hounds Harry, but the Hounds. I think it's Cry Havoc is the ability's name. Cry Havoc. I'm just trying to imagine an ability that both removes stress and also heals, and I think the best candidates are self-heals on the Absolution and Solemnity, the Leper and the Abomination ability, and the other thing is the Crusader's little Inspiring Cry. I think Inspiring Cry is the best target, and you can essentially turn the can this ability be used anywhere? Yeah, so you could essentially have a Crusader build where the Crusader's in the back slot. You could have him in slot 5, or slot 5, slot 4, and then use Inspiring Cry and Holy Lance and Battle Heal, and just have him be a support. The weird part about that is, though, his other 3 abilities don't work unless you're in slot. He literally only has 3 abilities that work in slots 3 and 4. What a weird way to play a Crusader. And it's just like a weaker version of playing, like, I don't know. That's weird. You can do it, though, because he does have an item that synergizes with that, right? He's got... Do we even have it? This, Commander's Orders, plus 15% stress heal received and plus 30% healing skills. But then again, this is really strange too, because this, for some odd reason, only works on his own stress heal received. So it's like you're basically like locking in on the extra healing skill stuff. Weird. If this gave plus 15% extra stress heal received to everybody, not just himself, then maybe be better. What a weird frontline stunner that heals himself. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could have him be in... I'm just thinking about, like, having him in the back line and being a healer while everybody else steals a lot. Because usually whenever you have a frontline healer, or a backline healer, usually you're using it to heal your frontliners. I guess he could be a frontline healer that stuns. I guess, yeah, you could do that. And I guess run with, like, the item we just got. Get the Ancestor Scroll going on. But then... Because this is technically a better version of this item. I guess it's not technically better. This gives 25% healing skills. This one gives 33% healing skills. But this only heals stress relief on himself, whereas this helps everybody else. I guess this could be done. You could go Ancestral Scroll and combo it with like Paralyzer's Crest, or like if you're against the Bloodsuckers, you could go Dazzling Mirror. I don't know who this is for. Like, who uses this item? I'm sorry, the Flagellant. The Flagellant. A healing Flagellant. Because that's who probably would use it, right? Because Endure. Minus 11 stress from someone, right? It would heal even more stress from that person, put more stress on him, and then he could heal like crazy with Redeem. This would be like a support version of the. That's probably the best candidate, besides the. I don't even know if I want to consider, like, the Crusader's an okay candidate. I don't even know if I want to say the best candidate. Weird. Okay, anyway. New item, though. I just wanted to kind of get the last one. But we already got the best item from the... We got the best 2 items a while back. We got the Ancestors Map and the Ancestors Candle. I think we actually got them in this order, too. No, it went Ancestors Bottle, then Ancestors Candle, then Ancestors Map, then we got the Tentacle Idol, and then we got the Ancestors Scroll. These 2 items are weird. Alright, let's go do a mission sometime today. Feel like I haven't got the chance to actually... I literally have done 2 missions and failed them both. Real awkward. Big Blood is solid. Nancy's bad. Well, we just picked up an occultist. Do we have 2 cultists now? Yeah, we do. Because Bassett, we kept... Didn't have any good abilities, but... Maybe I should have dropped Bassett and kept the 3rd Arbalest instead, because the 3rd Arbalest at least had good quirks. But I do want to have 2 occultists. And Enlighten's a good one to lock. We just don't have any good quirks up here. Alright. Let's go do a mission here real quick. We'll get lucky this time. Now I don't have to worry about being forced to go do a boss, though. This boss doesn't have anything where I want to go after anyway. What do you guys have over here? I do want to get the Fortifying Garlic, but I don't care about it. I don't have to go do a boss fight. I do really want the Ancestor's Pistol. This thing is disgusting. This item is so strong on the Highwayman late game. The extra 15 crit, or I'm sorry, the extra 15 accuracy is so strong, and then the +3 speed. Sign me up. We already have that. Yeah, I do want to pick up an Unholy Slayer's Ring. We've gone this entire game without picking up any of them. Not one. Somehow we don't have one. We have 3 copies of the Elder Slayer Ring. It's 3 copies of the Beast Slayer's Ring. A few Human Manslayer's Ring, but we don't have a single Unholy Ring. So I kind of want to go get one of those, just to have one. Maybe that's what I go do. To go do this long, lower tier mission. Do I even have guys to do that now that everybody's been stressed out of the lower tier? Sort by level. Do I even have level 1 characters I can bring to this mission? I might not. I might be priced in on a. I guess if that's the case, then I could go do this medium mission here. I just stressed everybody out on accident because 2 missions went like awkward in a row. The first one was just a reading error on my end. If you want to blame me for that, I'll accept it. I just think it's misplaced. I don't think it's my fault that the game has a bug where you start the wrong mission because it just decides that it's going to change the mission you had pre-selected. But the second one, I mean, I didn't have to go fight against the Shambler, but I was like, well, there's no reason not to, right? Go fight the Shambler, get the last item. Now that I've got Shambler completely beat, I can ignore the Shambler's altar for the rest of the game, right? Because there's no reason to fight the Shambler again. I've got all of his items. That, like, mini-boss is gone forever. I can just ignore the Shambler's altar, which I think is a win there. If I do go... Hold on. Is it... Yeah, it's the orange tier missions here. I would be forced to bring a bunch of level 3. That's not terrible, right? I could do this. It's a medium tier mission. Bring Gordon, who's obviously good at this location. This character's not. Neeland isn't good in this location. Beast Slayer, Elder Slayer, not great here. Maybe not. I mean, this is really all I got. Yeah, not so much. I guess I'll go down here and look at who I got. I'm probably going to have to accept that I'm going to have some stressed out people for this mission, guys. I mean, I literally have too many people that are stressed out suddenly because of a few bad weeks, we'll call it. Let's pick our comp, and then after that, we're gonna throw some people in some stress relief. We need to. We have to now. We're kind of forced to. Who's the least stressed out in our group? Duskane? not really the right mission for you. You shouldn't be going to do these. I guess I can bring Marisco. Yeah. You're level 0 here. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Let's bring Marisco here. Let's bring our Middleton, who I think has like Eagle Eye. Yeah, so he's a range character. Torn Rotator. Yeah, we're gonna lean in on the range damage kind of thing with him. I'll go ahead and unequip all the trinkets. Sort by rarity. I guess I'd already done that here. And we'll load you up with the Highwayman's Buckle here, the Gunslinger's Buckle. And then now you can actually use Grape Shot, right? Yeah, so we'll buy Grape Shot so he can start shooting from that slot. And then after that, I guess I want you in this slot. You can Grape Shot from there. Who else am I gonna bring? I'd like to bring. Okay, that's great. We got a healer. And she doesn't have that much stress, which feels good. I can also bring Lanesi, right? And then switch over to... Beast Tater's actually okay here. Oh, no, never mind. We're on the Warrens. Or the Wield, right? Never mind. I need Eldritch Slayer if I care about anything specifically. Or Human Manslayer. I was thinking Lanesi was the one that had the Incision, but she doesn't. I gotta bring somebody who doesn't have a lot of stress, because I don't have any stress relief, and I need some time for these guys to get rid of their stress, because of my mistake. Feels really weird bringing the Holy team, basically, like the Crimson Hand. Huh. Interesting. Alright. Yeah, this is a fine comp. It's not, like, ideal, but we can do it. Remember, this is only an apprentice tier mission. I'm sorry, never mind. Oh, God, it's long. We can still do it. We're fine. We don't have... and there's no... Wait, hold on. Is there a thing from the stars here? No. Okay, so maybe we'll have a regular mission. My God. I feel like we haven't had a regular mission in 10 years. Okay, you guys have all your skills unlocked? You don't. So you're probably going to be on the stun train for this mission. We'll bring this to remove some stress. Who am I bringing here? Who do I have in this comp? Marisco's going to deal bleed damage and Middleton. Okay, so you're not going to be really focused on killing. You're mostly focused on utility. So we'll give you Stunning Blow here. I'll give you Holy Lance just because I like having that in my back pocket in case things go wrong. I don't see a world where I'm going to need to mark myself, but having a mark ability on yourself while you also have a healer is probably not a bad idea. I already leveled her, right? She was the last one I did? Yeah, and then after that I'll look at you. I want to make sure that you have all ranged abilities. We're going to go with these as your core. Like that. And then, I mean, you're not going to get the chance to use point blank shot, but you're going to be able to, you're going to start a fight and just grape shot people. You're going to do an enormous amount of damage at the start of every fight. That's kind of my goal. Don't you have Hot to Trot too? No, not this one. But Eagle Eye is really good here. Extra crit on range skills. Really solid. And then after that, Marisco, I said I'm going to give you If It Bleeds. Bleed Out's okay. Bleed Out can just like absolutely destroy the last fight and the last guy to fight. I haven't really used it much in these missions. I'd actually rather have Yop than Wicked Hack. I gotta be careful here. I need to make sure I have... Yeah. Okay, we're fine. The awkward thing here is if I take... I guess I'm gonna keep Wicked Hack and get rid of Breakthrough. The reason is because I need to make sure I have somebody that can actually attack the front line. Middleton can hit with Grape Shot Blast, but I want to make sure I have two people that can hit the front line. I guess the Stunning Blow hits. Never mind. Maybe Breakthrough is still a better choice than Wicked Hack. Like this, probably. I think that's fine. You're level 0, you're level 1. Let's go out there and let's get us an actual win. I feel like I kind of shot myself in the foot 2 times at the start of this episode. It's kind of wild. All right, gives herself a hairpin here. Then we will... Oh yeah, never mind. We might not even use the hairpin anymore on her. She's got a set bonus item set now. Because of the Crimson Courtyard, I've got these 2 items that give us extra set bonus. Like, it's just so powerful. We should probably always use these. They're just really good. Look at this. This is nuts. Plus 60% damage if she's below 25% health. and then extra dodge, and then plus 2 speed, plus 35% death blow, or 35% bleed skill chance, so if it bleeds, it'll hit, like, always. She doesn't heal very much, but who cares, right? Yeah, you might be like, oh, yeah, but you have a Vestal on this team. But the reason that they had that on there is they don't want this adrenaline rush to feel that strong. Or they kind of want to make her have, like, a downside. She gets really low on health. But you want her to be, like, really close to death's door and just be essentially a berserker. That's the whole idea. She kind of, like, bleeds herself out. She's really close to death, but she's, like, living on the edge of death. But I have multiple ways of getting her off death's door, which is kind of how you support that. So I've got 3 people that can heal her. Herself plus the 2 healers. This is a long mission, so I guess it is actually important to consider. I might actually get a chance to use Sanctuary or Pray. It's probably not. I'll probably end up using Pray, if anything, because I have 2 people on our team that can actually are religious here. I need somebody... Yeah, I need to prevent nighttime ambush. We're going to make sure that's selected here. I need... Stand tall, right? Yes. Zealous Speech is really good. Zealous Speech is really strong, but it's also, like, weak at the same time, right? It removes stress and it removes, like, you know, like, it also gives you stress relief, but it's, like, really bad in terms of the cost, right? Zealous Speech costs 5 time, whereas, like, the Jester's Every Rose Has Its Thorn only costs 3 and does the same thing. So Zealous Speech is like a real feel bad. You don't want to ever do that. Like, it's a pretty bad camping ability. So really, we don't want to ever have to camp with this guy. Or, I mean, use camp abilities with this guy. So, I don't know. I'll unlock Encourage. I'm never going to use these abilities. I mean, I'm more likely to use Wound Care and Encourage than I am going to use Zealous Speech. That just costs way too much. It's insane. We've got the main things I really care about, though, with Banded Sense. I mean, there is a non-zero chance I have to use, you know, Zealous Speech if everybody's screwed on, you know, stress. But I think Reject the Gods is just, or not Reject the Gods, Revel is just better, though. Not Revel. Is it that one? Didn't she have one? Yeah, Revel. It removes stress. It decreases your accuracy, but I don't really care that much. It's not that big of a deal. When you're stressed out real bad, taking a little bit of, you know, loss of accuracy, I'd do it. I mean, this is a very powerful stress reliever. Like, pretty powerful. All right. Let's go ahead and go in with this. I think we're good. Let's go do a mission. Let's go do a mission. Ow. Let me get this Unholy Slayer's ring. What a weird start to an episode. Very strange. All right, and I will go ahead and give you... You already have your items. I'm kind of tempted to try this item, just to try it out. Give him the old Ancestor Scroll, but also throw on the a stunner item. You know, I could also just heavily lean into that and let the other 2 do all the damage. It is kind of weird having my 2 level 1s be healers and then have my level 0s be the damage dealers. But, you know, not the most efficient, but it'll be alright. Alright, give him Candle. Stress is not really a concern in this mission. Trap removal. We got all the characters that don't do things normally doing the things that they don't normally do. Like, she should not hold the Ancestor's map. It should be our Highwayman. Our Highwayman should not be dealing the damage since he's level 0. It should be one of our, like, level 1 characters. But our level 1 characters are healers primarily. He's level 0. Our damage dealers are lower. It's just awkward. Everything's awkward. You know, this what I was saying about the trap is that this guy's class at base just has really high base trap removal chance. Hers only 10%. So it's just kind of this awkward, like, uh-oh. Like, who do I... But the one upside of this is that we have an 85% chance and an 80% on 2 people, so that's a nice little extra set of stress relief on 2 classes. Often, you can usually, like, rely on that to just occasionally remove stress from whichever class you need to remove it from, which can be good. And then for the Crusader here, I really don't know what I want for this. I mean, I'm kind of tempted to try Commander's Orders, but I don't think that's the right move here. I think it's better to just increase our stun chance. Or I guess I could also He's not going to be stunning as much. He's going to be attacking. Like, in the early fights, I'm going to try not to stun with him. I'm going to try to hit harder, right? No, I didn't level smite. What does this... Does this thing have a high stun chance? 1% stun chance. That's funny. Let's just go with this. Maybe I'll crit stun. Have a higher act. That's sure. I just think this is pretty powerful, so just go like this. The extra stun percentage chance is like whatever. This is a long mission. I'm not as worried about it. Most of the enemies in this mission are like not very stunnable anyways because they're like tankier. I don't know. Might be making a bad choice with that. It's probably better to go like this. We're gonna be trying to stun. Might as well just lean into it. All right, let's go. All right, we have a lot of ways of healing here, so I'm not gonna go super deep into food. And then after that, we really just need ways of removing stress. You can see why stress is so like crazy in that last mission. We started the mission off with people that already had a little bit of stress, and then after that just saw the Shambler immediately, and the game was like, nope, you're going to go to 1,000,000 stress immediately. I was like, well, you know, it sucks, but at the same time, we walk out of there with the final Shambler item, and as much as it feels like we didn't do anything for 2 weeks, first week we definitely didn't, we still walked out of there with some actual items. I still feel good about it, despite the fact that it still kind of feels like not very productive weeks. We still walked out with a legendary item there's no other way of getting. That's it, right? Let me check this again. Food. Shovels. Yep. Yeah, we're good. Check items one more time. Just feel like I haven't even played the game today. I really haven't. Oh, I didn't give her a second item. Dude, come on. Today's not my day. It's just like struggling on the basics. Let's go. Let's go. My God. Like watching a slow motion train wreck. You'd be like,
corruption has soaked the soil, sapping all good life
Ew.
from these groves. Let us burn out this evil.
Ew. This map sucks. I'm gonna go all the way this way first because I have to do every room battle, so I have to go this way first. I'm not gonna check any curios until we go all the way through. Well, actually, let's check and make sure I don't have any bad forced interaction things. Nervous or stress. Yeah. I'm not gonna interact with any of this until we come back. I'm also not gonna burn any torches on the way back. Oh, this is an easy start. Cool. If you can grape shot blast a few of these guys away, I would be so happy. If you can grape shot blast a few of these guys away, I would be so happy.
As the fiend falls, a faint
So
hope
close.
blossoms.
It's kind of hoping we get the chance to kill more than one off of the grape shot blast there. That way I would be able to actually cheese a free, like, stress relief here. Alright, we're gonna, guys. I'm just gonna kill the first one. Okay. I was thinking about stunning the second one for, like, max value, but it's like, well, that doesn't really make a lot of sense, because if I stun the front one, I could just kill him instead. Wow, these guys are fast. Okay. Yep, that's fine. It's not really any damage, it's just annoying little status elements. Yep. You're gonna die from bleed anyway, so.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
Alright. You're noticing I'm not using the anti-venom. This is a pittance, like we're talking 3 damage, I don't care about that. Finally hits.
Disadvantage. Give them no quarter.
Alright, we will take these. I will take the blood, and I will take this. I mean, I could take... Do I take the blood? Over 100 gold, I'll speculate on the blood, because if I run into a few bloodsuckers and I'm able to walk on with like 3 blood or so, it's worth it. This is a lower tier mission. 100 gold's whatever. We have a nice target for our shovels on the way back. There's a fight here. Okay. I think we're at 75 torch, right? 76, so we'll get the chance to use the full damage from the Ancestor's Candle in round 1 here. Go for raw damage here. Almost killed them all. But not quite. Do I yop? I think I do. Should probably use that at combo a lot. Just immediately just yop and grape shot. And you should just be able to kill him.
Confidence surges.
And then
as
this
the
is when
enemy
you cheese the stress relief. Where possible. So that was stress -5. Yeah, he relieves 6 stress instead. I need to pay close attention to how much that heals.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
So we left behind 100 gold, and the question is, like, is it better just to pick up the gold here? I don't even see, like, look at how many hulls I see right now without a single shovel. But the thing about it is, like, we do know that tombstone's there. So this money is kind of like a awkward situation. It's like, do we take the money over what I have? I honestly don't think I do. 350 gold's a lot of money, but, like, I don't know what I'd want to drop for it. Right? I don't even know what I'd drop for right now. I'd much rather be able to start making those decisions on the way back. We'll have a lot of opportunity to build up some value off these rooms. Yeah, I had to go this way. There were two rooms interactable. So this is where I get to use her 85% chance to break the trap. Oh. Yeah, I'm not going to increase the torch, I don't think. Actually, I am going to increase the torch down the hall, just not the way back. Does that make sense? All right. Yep, again, leave everything that's here. We're not really worried about it. We're just looking to kill these guys as quick as possible and then rush back through this area and then catch everything on the way back. Yop them. This combo's pretty powerful here. Buys an extra turn for another grape shot. And then Stunning Blow can't hit the bat guy. We're going to let her kill it. But I'm just going to use this guy to remove stress, which feels really weird because, you know,
the match is strong.
It's not really his role, but most of the time.
Star is born.
But she can... You know, we're not really bad on health. We're really, it's the stress that we're getting more value out of removing right now, so. Yep. Feels very weird. It's like backwards. I have her dealing damage, and I have my Crusader healing stress and healing people. It's kind of fun and different. Working fine, though. Just weird. Alright, those things don't drop anything. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's fine.
Ghoulish
2 more
horrors,
fights again, man.
brought low
Back to back
and
to back to back
driven
fights
into the
here.
mud.
Okay. Yep. Nice dodge, though. Alright. Raw damage is great against these guys. Stuns are not good against these guys, though. So I'm going to have her just try to deal as much damage as she can to the guy in the back. Because, you know,
Compassion is
that guy's the most annoying guy, in my opinion.
Pitch of battle.
This is where it would be really nice if I had a regular attack instead of a stun ability. Your stun doesn't do anything, but he might just be able to kill him. No, not quite. Yeah, so we don't have very much raw damage, which really does suck. Bloodsuckers are, like, not our friends on this mission. Those are not the guys we want to see in our fights. Those are the bad ones. But if we get the chance to go quick here, if we can avoid the Crimson Curse for one more round, we're going to be fine. Of course, the fast guy in the back's going to attack, but then other than him, we might be able to just kill all these guys. Okay. No Crimson Curse is fine then, we're okay. Then we just Grape Shot blast him. That dodge is ugly, but I'm not that bothered by it. Just killing these two really makes a huge difference, and then we can kind of heal ourselves back. Oh, I might be able to stun this dude. Oh yeah, he's got really low stun resist. He's stunnable. And she can kill the bat guy from here.
A decisive pummeling.
Which is weird, like you don't usually assume that she's going to be dealing any damage, because usually whenever you're attacking with the Vestal's not attacking the back line. The Vestal's usually associated with like healing, so it's kind of fun to be able to see her do something different like this. A little weird, but we are feeling a little bit of pressure on our highwayman. He's taking a lot.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
I was a little greedy and I wasn't using my anti-venom, and I was kind of intentionally thinking like, okay, well, we've got a lot of curios to interact with over the course of this mission. We might want to keep that for other things, because, you know, I'm running out of torches and stuff anyway, so.
Clear. You require only the strength to follow it.
I don't know. We're not really picking up money. We've left behind 550 gold, I think, so far. It's not that big of a deal. No, maybe it is worth. what's it, one more round? He's gonna take 2 damage. What's he at? 9? Sure. I'm not gonna take the money though. It wasn't the most efficient way of doing that. I should have used the antidote a little earlier if I was gonna use it, but that's okay. She can essentially make up for it here. We've essentially been able to ignore most of these 3 enemy fights by having her deal as much damage as she can to the back slot. Using Grape Shot Blast to wipe out the bat guy. Okay, well, that's awkward. Wow. Grape Shot Blast to just kill them like this. And then she yops the other one like this. She'll just yop stun him. And then she doesn't stun the one that could possibly kill him. Okay. Please die. Please get stunned. Okay, cool. Alright. That's fine. So I'm gonna have to heal now. I need to heal. I'm gonna have to use some food. One of the two. Do I just go for Grape Shot Blast here? I guess we got a long time before we actually have to worry about food, and we'll probably get hunger checked. I'm gonna be greedy. I'm gonna be greedy, and I'm gonna try to get a Vestal heal before we do anything here. Get a Vestal heal off on him.
The light, the promise of safety.
Okay, that's big. That's real big. A lot of saved food later on, so... she can't hit the front line. I guess... never mind, she has bleed out.
Be gone, fiend.
I haven't been using that a lot this playthrough, so I kind of forgot I had that. Alright, so this is... Sometimes it has treasure in it, sometimes has a bad quirk, I think.
At least promises success.
Nothing this time, that's fine. Now we can actually start grabbing up all those juicy random curios we left behind, which is nice. A lot of them are going to be empty, I promise, though. That's how it works whenever you come back. Now it's worth picking things up like this.
For a task well performed.
I'm going to go ahead and drop the anti-venom because I only saw one thing that interacted with either anti-venom or bandages on the way back, and that was literally just the cobwebs thing. Yep, hunger check was expected. Alright. I'm gonna drop a shovel if I find something that's worth dropping over it. Yeah. These stack well. You could make an argument for keeping the shovel because of that tombstone, and then just drop, like, let's say a jade, and I wouldn't fault you for that. Honestly, that's probably the right play. Could also actually just be greedy here and switch. Yeah, I'm gonna drop a firewood. Like, what do I need that for? Right? Sleeping once is usually enough on a long mission for that's green tier like this at Brent's level. Alright, buys us some space in our inventory too, so nice. Yep, this is where we use that shovel. And now we have an extra slot to deal with, which is good.
A fortune.
Wow.
Waiting to be spent.
Speculating on a ruby this early in the mission is not a bad idea. Like, it's the very start of the mission, right? There's a lot of curios coming up, so I could take it. If I was going to take it, what would I drop for it? The bandages, probably? That's reasonable. Free torch is nice here.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
How many keys do we have left? 3? Okay, yep. Give us something nice here. Citrine is not what I'm asking for. But the other one's stacked, so we're happy with it regardless. Press on here. It's making... Yeah, here's where you would want to keep the bandages, but we're not going to interact with this because this can give you, all this... like, the slow draw. It can give you, like, slow reflexes and slow draw if you roll wrong. Oh, nice. Oh, never mind. We already have a full stack of that. Exactly not nice. Probably better than the blood. Nobody on our team except one guy, I think, has the Crimson Curse right now. We don't really need much blood. We're fine. We can support those guys pretty easily here. Moving on down here. We got a lot of curios. Man, this is going to be a real busy hallway. Yeah. Really sucks that we don't have those bandages, but I don't care that much. Really weird having her have the Ancestors map. But being able to remove stress off of her is fine. Now I consider burning torches. I could also not. And then, I don't know. My thinking is, I think what I do is I burn a torch here, and then I fight whatever we see here. I get down into the end of when I get to the T intersection down here at the bottom, I'll go right, hook down, come back up, not use any torches until I get to that end of that area, and then I'll use my fire. Maybe that's what I do. This might have been a good time to actually use his other attack there, but these guys have really low stun chance, right? Yeah, let's just stun them. Actually, hold on. What's my Crusader gonna do then after that? Is he really gonna like stress relieve? Is that what we're gonna do? Would I rather just, if it bleeds? I'm gonna if it bleeds here. Kill him, and then we'll use our Crusader to stun one of the front guys. I might even actually stun two of them. Actually, this might work out really well here. So we'll stun like this, and then I'll have my Vestal stun the other one. If she gets to go first, that'd be even better. Wow, that worked out really nice. Oh, he dodged the stun. 25% chance to dodge. All right, dude. Nice dodge. Okay, well, never punished. Never punished. All right, now since he's already been stunned, there's no real reason to yop here. He's only gonna hit one target. Just kill the guy in the back. The most annoying guy. All that annoying dodge decreasing is obnoxious. Cool. I think he's just gonna bleed out. Great. Yeah, he gets a free attack and was never punished again. Awesome. Can't complain. Thanks for working out. All right, here. This is probably the right time to heart party heal. Even though we got a lot of health missing off the highwaymen, there's just a lot of value out of healing the whole team here. This guy's just gonna die from anybody hitting him. Let's sneak in an extra stress relief. Wow. Okay. Cool. And then kill him. Oh, that worked out really nice. Really nice. Look at that.
Push on to the task's end.
I know I could just click take all there, but sometimes it feels satisfying grabbing things one at a time. Hey, that's the curio I was talking about in a previous mission that we just never see. This, do we have holy water? Yeah, I'm pretty sure all of the altars like this work with holy water, like all of them do, and I haven't had the chance to do it. I don't think I've even seen one of these this entire like playthrough. It's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. All right, I'm gonna yop him here. Go for double stun here. And then here, honestly, I'll probably just go for a stress relief here. I probably should have done that slightly differently. I should have done the same trick I did last time. That was wrong. They just kill him. Oh, I missed. Whatever. All right, stun him. Grape Shot Blast is going to do a lot of work in this next round. Oh yeah, Grape Shot Blast is going to be gross. Sure. Okay, actually Grape Shot Blast is going to be really good here because, yeah, this worked out really good. Him switching spots. Do you go first though? Yeah. The dog's going first is pretty brutal. Rabies? Joke's on you, I like grabbing a rabies. That's an attack steroid.
Unnerved, unbalanced.
They're gonna get all their little attacks in before we get the chance to do anything. This is why these dogs are dangerous, because of that. They attack so fast.
Back to the pit.
See ya, nerds. Grape Shot Blast is so good against trash mobs like that. It's crazy. It feels so good to Grape Shot Blast those guys. Okay, we got a lot of dudes bleeding here. Let's just start kind of working on that here. Well, I wouldn't even heal you. Let's go for a big heal on you then. We're gonna start making up for all this random bleed in a second here. Okay. Cool. We're gonna go for a yop then. Let the Grape Shot Blast finish it. Let the Grape Shot Blast flow. Get out of here.
A powerful blow.
Alright, now it's worth actually considering dropping the ruby, or I guess the onyx.
Or is it merely a trick of the light?
It could also just firewood here. Nah, that's bad. We have full torches. This money is better than a ruby. It's probably better than an onyx, actually, though. I'll be greedy, and I'll try to see if I can't roll one more onyx. The odds of, or one more ruby. The odds of finding one more ruby is probably higher than finding 4 more onyx. Probably. All right, let's see what this does. I think it does work like this. It does. Oh, it's a stress relief. That's pretty mediocre considering the circumstances. We already had full stress, or low stress. Good to know for the future, though. I was kind of hoping it was going to be something like an attack buff or something for the rest of the mission. I'm going to be honest with you. Yep, just not quite enough to kill you. Man, a Grape Shot Blast is strong, just not quite enough, though. Let's go for a Dazzling Light on the bad guy here. Or not Dazzling Light, a damage ability. Let's get all set up so I can knock him down. I'm just gonna go for a hit. Because Yop is... Actually, no, hold on. Well, it's gonna result in the same outcome. Well, if I miss, it doesn't. Never mind. What I was gonna say is if it bleeds, then he can possibly kill... It didn't matter. What I was gonna say was, if I used Yop, I would have stunned the front two, and then after that, the Crusader would have no choice other than to randomly pommel one of them, not get any value out of the stun, but possibly just kill it. Whereas if I went the other way and I did it, if it bleeds, I could kill the third one and then use the pommel to hit the front one, and then just kill it and then kill two. Instead of having 2 stunned and 1 dead, I'd have 2 dead, 1 stunned. But he missed, so it ended up working out. For them, not us. So we'll heal everybody here. This is where, like, the bleeds don't matter, right? The worst thing to deal with when you're a dog is an enemy that can just do little heals. Alright, now we'll just go for a kill here.
Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
Man, Grape Shot Blast is so juicy whenever it does land. It feels good. There's that Onyx I told you we'd probably see.
Creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
It always feels bad when that kind of stuff happens, but I mean, you can't really... I don't know, I should probably just accept that I'm not going to find another ruby. The game is like... This is such a bad situation because... Psychologically speaking, it feels like we're leaving Onyxes on the table by not taking this one now after we'd already dropped that one, but the reality is we're not, because that other one isn't, or we can't go back and get it. So there's no like, it's still in a vacuum. The ruby is still better than the Onyx, right? In a vacuum. But now the mission's getting, like, it's going longer. We've only got a short mission worth of whatever stuff to look through. Is a ruby worth more than 1 Onyx on a short mission? It's a 50-50. I'm gonna go this route. If I can find 3 Onyx, it's worth more than one ruby. If I find 1 more ruby, I'm gonna look like an idiot. But, like, I guess I could also just say to heck with it and drop the holy water. Let's just split the difference and just take them both. Alright, we have no anti-venom, but we can still interact with this. We can sometimes find treasures in it anyway. Alright. Now we have a real question about whether or not we just drop one of these things for the portraits. Portraits are not as common on this location. I think crests are common everywhere, and in every location, the 4 core locations. I think deeds are common here. I'm not going to take a portrait, because we might not even find another one the whole mission. Money's fine. We take the torch, because we can still stack it. Do we take this money over an Onyx? I'm going to. If we find a 3rd Onyx, so be it. You know, you can't really control that. All you can do is kind of hope for the best. Burn a torch here. Yep. Oh, wow, okay, we got one of the annoying ones that can run away. So, try to kill the front guy as fast as possible, because he can cause you problems later down the road if you don't take him seriously. What does marking him do? Do these guys consume mark? I don't think anybody in this team does that. Alright, we're just gonna try to kill you. I guess I'll let the Crusader try to pommel him and stun him.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Okay. Okay, that worked out really well there. Hindsight's always 20/20, but just go for raw damage. Yeah, he has really high dodge. As I said, this is one of the downsides about fighting those guys. The Sycophants are so funny to me because they only have 10 dodge, but it feels like they have so much more. Sure. We really struggled to keep a good heli. I'm telling you, man. All right. But yeah, these Sycophants only have 10 dodge. They just seem to always dodge, no matter what. They just dodge. Cool. And then you should be able to just kill him, even though it's only... Yeah. Even though you're doing a stun ability. It's not that low damage. I have to Grape Shot Blast to hit him. Alright.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
This is where this gets really annoying. I'm telling you, the Onyx is so much. You find Onyxes all over the place. Like, I don't know, man. They're a lot more common than rubies. I'm just gonna accept. You know what? I'm gonna make this easy. We're just gonna ignore both of them. You all suck. All right, and then we're gonna go on with what we have here. I'm not gonna take any of this. If I'd have taken the Onyx, I'd have had 3 of them. But like I said, like, you can't know that. I mean, it's a lot higher probability you find 3 Onyx than you find, you know, 2 rubies. But I'm fine with what we have here either way. I do need to start burning through these medicinal herbs with the food. Maybe I need to use the food a little bit more aggressively. Maybe that's the play here. Like this. I'm gonna take the Onyx over the ruby. We haven't seen the last of the Onyx apparently. After we've already seen 3. We don't have bandages, but I'm gonna interact with this anyways because sometimes you find something. 100 gold. I was really expecting to pull a ruby off of him at this stage. I was like, I'm gonna get a ruby. I know I'm gonna get a ruby. I'm gonna look like an idiot on stream. Okay. Wow, very busy hallway. Man, we found 3 of these in this mission. Would have been really nice to get those bandages, but again, no, 80% chance, like 85% chance. I'm trying to right click her. Let me do it.
Unwitnessed by his own eyes.
Yeah, 85% chance to take that apart. That sucks. We've landed 2 of them though, so it's okay. All right, now we're getting hunger checked after I burned through some food. Oh wow, we haven't seen any of these guys this mission. It's been a pretty quiet mission when it comes to like stress. These guys have really high chance to be stunned, despite the fact that they're super tanky. It's weird because these guys like have a really high chance to be stunned, but then those like head crab looking guys, the bloodsuckers, don't. It just feels like they're similar. They're like cut from the same cloth. It's strange to me that they don't work the same. I'm gonna try to kill the stress guy. He's annoying. And then I'll have you. I guess I'll just go for raw damage and just try to kill these guys quickly. But that wasn't very much damage at all. Why is she doing so little damage? Oh, right, because of Sacred Scroll. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. And then now we can get a stun off of you. Because these guys look like they can't be stunned, but they can. Like, they really don't look like stunnable targets, right? Having a giant, like, mushroom head thing, I would assume that you can't even hit these guys.
The abyss returns.
You feel like you find more rubies than Onyx. I 1000% think you're full of crap. I'd love to see what the stats are for finding all those items, but rubies are like really valuable, and to find like 2 of those in a mission is already insane, let alone finding, you know, multiple or finding more than Onyx. But I've already found, I mean, this is anecdotal purely, but I think that was the 3rd one we found. I think in my entire playthrough so far, this whole playthrough, I think I found two rubies in 2 missions ever. I'm not saying 2 rubies total. What I'm saying is 2 rubies together on 1 mission has happened twice. I found 2 on 1 mission, found 2 on another mission. Most of the time it's one-off occasionally. I can still Grape Shot Blast here, so I guess I go for the raw judgment here. I'm thinking about using Dazzling Light just because I want to build up our torch here, because I guess we still have Firewood. Never mind, just skip raw damage. That's more what I was expecting, 6. Alright, if this Grape Shot Blast goes right, I could clear this dead body and get him close enough for the Crusader to kill him. That didn't go well at all. Didn't kill anything.
How quickly the tide turns.
Wow, wasn't even marked, still took full damage. Take him out. Wow, you're at 1. Well, never mind, he's still gonna die because he's gonna bleed. Still worth it.
By inches.
A death by inches is exactly right. Yeah, that's what I was hoping to do, was clear that body. Still got to Doomsay. You suck, dude. Alright. Nice. You're dead. And here, I might actually yop him, because I'd like to get a fast heal. Did I miss it? No, I hit him. I'd like to get a heal on the whole squad. I guess I don't need to heal the whole squad. I really just need to heal her. That's the lower end of the heals. And then we'll remove some stress from some people here, I guess. Just leave them stunned for a round. Remove some stress.
But never hidden.
Remove some stress. Let's try to kill him. I hit the wrong button there. I meant to actually go for the dazzling light. The wrong one. It was work. It doesn't matter. I'm still gonna kill him anyways from grape shot blast. But is he not bleeding? Oh, maybe not. That's okay. Bleed out will take care of him.
Devastating blow.
This, I believe, this fountain removes a bad quirk. So that'd be nice.
Victory.
That's good.
But a victory nonetheless.
See what I mean by deeds? We're finding way more deeds than we're finding, like, you know, portraits. I'd be willing to take a deed here over other things. I think this is probably where I just say to heck with the onyx and just drop it. The blood would be nice here, but she is not yet craving, which is kind of annoying. I don't think I'd take a blood off of the chances she's going to be craving. I think we have enough time to not worry about that. I'm just going to leave this. Does she have it? I think you have a bad quirk, right? Nervous? Oh, but I don't have a holy water. Yep, 31 stress. I checked that just to see whether or not it would actually work that way. I think that's a admission by the game that since she took stress from it, that it would remove stress if I had the holy water instead. It's okay. No biggie. I shouldn't have selected her for that. I should have had somebody else interact with that, but I was thinking it was going to give a bad quirk. Oh, that's really nice. A lot of food. So this is where I probably just go ahead and remove the medicinal herbs. That's the highest roll you can get on food. That's why I bring the medicinal herbs anyways for that. And I'll go ahead and remove that debuff. And then we'll just go with what we have here. Now we're basically insulated entirely from bad rolls on food, like, you know, hunger checks. All right. I'm gonna be conservative with my torches because, oh, never mind. We still have the firewood. We're fine. All right, take that sucker out. Bleed chances low on these guys, but we got it anyway. Cool. Let's go for a raw damage attack on this guy because when we kill him, then the other two guys can double up on the old slime in the front. Yeah, just go for raw damage here. Not a stun, raw damage. And you go for stun. Might kill him. Not quite. Close. That's all right. Crusader does not get to go here, which sucks. Just kind of hoping he'd go first. Let's see if we can't get lucky and get a crit. Stun him. Awesome. And then I'm going to remove some stress from our poor Crusader, or our poor Vestal, who's just been getting beat up by stress. I made a few bad decisions earlier. Selecting that dead body and all that stuff. Yeah, again, this thing is good for removing stress, but we don't have the holy water.
Triumphant pride precipitates.
I think it's still good, though. It still is good, right? Still removes 20. Yeah, so this altar is always good. If you have the holy water, it's better, but it still removes a lot of stress. That was a really good time to see that. Now we actually got to see the full use of that curio, which is crazy, because like I said, I've played through this full playthrough. We're in like week 84 or something, and I've never seen that curio yet on this whole place. And we've gone through this place so many times. I swear to you, I don't think I've seen that curio one time. Just trying to decide if I want to interact with this. It can give you slow draw, which is awful. I'm not gonna interact with that. I know what slow draw or slow reflexes are crap. All right. Oh, hold on. This is where I said I was gonna camp.
Gathered close.
We have enough food to be greedy here.
Firelight and uneasy companionship.
Stress-wise, if she prays, she's got the most stress. I probably just need to use Gallows Humor if I have it. I don't have it. Let's remove Nighttime Ambush Chance. If she prays, it hits all companions, not herself, which is obnoxious. But if you use Revel, you remove it from everybody. I think this is probably better, even though it lowers her accuracy. And then from there, I can offset that by increasing the accuracy with Claim Guns. And that'll make it so his Grape Shot Blast can carry us to the next 4 battles since I just offset everything with a... Yeah, that'll work. Does anybody have a one-off? A one? No, they don't. That's fine. Great. then we got rid of that firewood and we can take off. And again, we're going to be less accurate on everybody, but he's going to make up for it. He gets -5 accuracy, but he gets 10 back from his unclean guns, and he's going to carry us with the grape shot blasts. Well, okay, well, this fight's going to be a wash anyways, but sure. Their stun chance is 100% chance to resist stun, which is the wildest crap ever. Like, what? What? Sure. 2 damage. No disease, please. Alright, cool. Nice dodge. Let's just remove some stress while we can. 4 and 19. Cool. My turn. Not quite. You should be able to... Yeah, you kill him. Just, boop. Awesome. Okay. Got a trap here. She can break that, though. I can break these cuffs. You can, you just don't. So that's 2. She's 2 for 2, or she's 2 for 4, despite having an 85% chance to land it, to break the trap. So, okay. Burn a torch. I want to make sure that our Ancestor's Candle is doing what it should be doing. Alright, this is where we really need that grape shot blast to hit hard. It did.
Masterfully executed.
Cool. That's more than I expected out of that. That's awesome. And then we'll go for a simple stun on one of these guys. Let the grape shot blast just carry us. Wow, for having -5 accuracy on every single person, we haven't been punished at all. Wow, that went well too. Oh my god, okay, well. The rolls went well for us that round. Very well. Sure. Very fast character. Dodged 2 of those too. Feeling pretty good here. Maybe we'll get lucky and just kill him. Like, well, that's the wrong ability. That won't work. Not quite. Not quite. Huh. I guess we'll go for raw damage here. Sure. I was hoping that between the two, I was going to try to do this and then have the grape shot blast like clear, but that's fine. Let's just kill him. The other 2 guys are like not adding stress. I'm not as worried about them. We have means of getting rid of like loss of health. We can heal. It's the stress that's more annoying. And that 33% protection, you can really feel it. You think he would have learned his lesson after being struck by lightning twice? All right. I'll just go for bleed out here. This will hurt. Yeah. Not an ability I use that often because it's almost like a fight finisher, right? Because when you use bleed out, it does 120% of raw base damage, has a high % chance of crit, and it bleeds them. It's basically like an attack and a half. It's a lot of power, but then it also makes her do 20% less damage moving forward. So you're almost like priced into using bleed out and then following it up with an adrenaline rush if you're planning on going long in a fight. But if you're going long in a fight, you almost don't want to use that at all. All right, so he's just dead. Let's just go for the huge damage again. Wow. Protection. OP. Alright. Please leave, dude. No one likes you. Alright. Okay, so yeah, easy pick here. Well, I guess we'll take this. I'm literally gonna... Oh, actually, I guess I can take the citrine. No, we're not leaving yet. We did beat all the missions, which is funny, but we're gonna get our value here. Yep, nice. And then our deeds, which we now are stacking. The money I'll leave probably here. I guess it's actually still better than holy water. Still better than money. What am I gonna do with the holy water at this stage? If I find an altar, I find an altar, but I'm not that concerned. Sack is empty. It's fine. Okay. This is gonna make the mission feel a lot better. This is fantastic. This is exactly what we wanted to see. This is great. This is really good. We are very, very, very set up to beat this guy. Like, we have huge amounts of chance of stunning him. We have 3 stunners. Oh, we already stunned him. So he's not even gonna be able to spawn anything this round. Then I'm gonna be able to use bleed out and just kill him. Like, hurt him so hard here. This is great. Seeing him here was really good for us. This is a free trapezohedron. It's a lot. Look at him. He's struggling. Yep. Only downside is we don't get the chance to start the fight off with being able to use the tracking shot, but look how much damage we've already done to this idiot. Yep. Yep. Now you're going to be able to switch locations, which is fine. The downside is I don't have Iron Swan, which does suck, but you know, I can still kind of get close. So I'm probably going to just play honestly here and build my attack damage back up. Undo what we just did there. But he's hurting pretty hard already. Let's stun the damage dealer. And then Grape Shot Blast is going to be big for us for the rest of the fight here. Yep. Joe Collection is fine. I don't really care about stress. That's not a big deal. Headache's not what I want to see really here. The buff is kind of annoying. Alright, so again, we're at a stage where we've got enough health that we can probably just rush him. And I'm gonna go for that. I'm just gonna try to kill him. He's only got 26 health. And I can pistol shot him here, but I'm gonna be greedy here, and I'm gonna go for a tracking shot so I can line up a guaranteed kill in 2 rounds. Because if this goes wrong, the Vestal Spirit could heal him twice and then outpace our damage. And I don't want that to happen. So what I'm gonna go for here is instead I'm gonna go for just a raw like Yop here, I think, and just try to kill him in 2 rounds. Yop is extremely powerful against this comp. Actually, no, he's got 75% chance to dodge the. Doesn't work out well against him. Just go for raw damage against one of the guys. Well, I missed. That's fine. So I will stun her. Oh no, he has stun resist because I stunned him last. He doesn't just have raw stun resist. And if that's the case, maybe it's bad to stun her because then I can't use Yop. I'm gonna do it anyway. I'll just alternate stuns and then I'll have her deal her damage and then he can stun. And then let our Highwayman do his thing. I don't care about that. That ability doesn't matter to us. Stress is literally irrelevant right now. Alright. I'm gonna go for Bleed Out. Just kill the one in the front. He's dead. And then now I'll pistol shot. Because I'll kill him in 2 rounds, like I said. It'd been nice if I was able to actually use it if it bleeds right now because I can reach, but it's okay. Nice. A very good dodge. It's almost like he understands what your abilities do. Alright, I could cheese a stun here, maybe? Nope, that's fine. And then now you can't be stunned. This is kind of awkward. If she stuns, if she goes for a heal on him, it's going to irritate us, but he can also heal on his own, so it's not really worth it to try to min-max. I'm going to stun this guy. And then any real threats of death are gone, but they still have the chance of healing, which is annoying. Yep. Buff him. If he heals, lifesteal, that's the thing I was worried about. But this ability right there is exactly why I wanted to increase his raw damage for the rest of the fight, because I needed to make sure that I was able to overcome that crap, because I knew that would happen. Nice try, idiot. Alright. We can still get hunger checked here. I'm just gonna drop the old Citrine. Citrine never gets a break, does it? I'm not gonna worry about it. We're just gonna go in, and my Vestal's gonna carry.
Glittering
wow!
gold, trinkets and baubles, paid for
We're fine.
in blood.
We're not in any real threat of death here, so nice. Sure. Gather up the rest of what we can find here. I actually really didn't want that to trigger that way, because I don't know if finding the map increases the chance or decreases the chance or changes the chance of you finding a secret room. Huh. I don't know how that works. Either way, we're all right. We're doing just fine here. So, see, nerd. Holy crap! That crit was nice. Sure. Whatever. Okay, moving her's a little annoying. But she can still heal from that slot, so I don't really care that much. I say it actually is annoying. It's not annoying. It's not annoying. It doesn't even matter. Because she can still heal from that slot. He's got Holy Lance, and he can shoot from range with point-blank shot. You did nothing to us there. I don't even care. Alright, go for raw damage here. Yeah, that miss is annoying. Divide, comfort the team. And then we'll Holy Lance one of these guys off the planet. J-nerd. Alright, let's see if we can't kill that stupid sycophant in the back. Not quite. He's gonna lifesteal, which is a little annoying. Oh, he thirsts, yeah. That's the lifesteal. It's so funny because I was like, oh, he's gonna lifesteal, and I was like, oh, that's not lifesteal. Yes, it is. It's just that the collector's ability is literally called lifesteal, and it didn't say that, so my brain registered that it's not the right ability. It's going to kill him because he could Enraging Sight here, or not Enraging Sight, but whatever his ability is that I should have read it first. He has Elusive Exit. That's what it is. We don't want that to happen. Have him run away and cause us problems. So I'm thinking about being greedy here. Instead of going for a stun, just removing some stress from somebody so that the next mission I can bring them, because these guys need the stress relief since we stressed ourselves out a lot in the last few missions. Just heal somebody. I mean, the downside of what I'm doing is I'm inviting the chance of us getting the Crimson Curse, but I don't know. Okay, well, if you're gonna dodge, it's gonna make me look real bad. Well, all right, Mosquito, who are you gonna get the Crimson Curse to? Or her, huh? Sure. All right. After that, shoot. Okay. I can't even hit him. He's gonna slap. Okay. You tore that body apart, though. I'll tell you that. All right. Let's go for the stun again. I could switch their spots, but I mean, between the two of them, they can just kill him. I'm trying to cheese some extra stress relief, but this guy is just like dodging things that matter. That's just not working out well. Trying to see if I can't get some extra stress relief while we're here against this guy. Switch you. Go for team-wide heal. No crits. Just not getting them.
Sedated.
Sucks. That's fine. Whatever. Alright, now I do need to start taking Baron's invitations, because Viscount's invitation now instead of Baron's invitations, because we beat the first one, but I'm not like hurting. I have one still. But it is worth considering. I guess there are no more chest things, and we've already checked that. I guess there's no more fights, so we should do this. Oh, actually, it's the shovel over the key. Yeah, it's like this. Yes, the shovel's worth more than this, but what I'm saying is there's an off chance I could still find a key thing coming up here. There's that chest that you can find in the middle of the hallway. It's just like a black box that you can find. Sometimes has something in it. And we can still get hunger checked, which I don't want to see. Just have extra stress added to people. So I'm going to leave that one portrait. We've left behind 2 portraits this mission. Whatever. Hey, nice. Really nice.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
Not getting hunger checked here is kind of funny. Still haven't been hunger checked in a while. Heirlooms. Not 2 more deeds. We can finish off the deed stack, which is nice. And food. Okay, sure. Okay, so we can go here. I guess it's worth opening this. If we get some extra food, we can take it home and not spend it. And we get to...
awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
Alright, we'll go home. That's more food we're taking home. Click the quest complete thing and stop playing games. He keeps walking backwards and said,
pestilence will yet be driven
alright, we got ourselves an Unholy Slayer's Ring, which is pretty cool. We want one of those for a little while, so... We're not quite to the point where we can actually buy the Puppet Theater, but we're really close. Once we get that, then all that stress crap that we've been dealing with will be gone.
Our family name, once so well regarded, is now barely whispered aloud by decent folk.
Alright, I got 3 people with the Crimson Curse that are all wildly different levels, which is a little annoying. I'd like to get them a little closer together so that I can actually bring them if I'm going to go do this mission, but I guess they are forcing it to be a champion mission, so we might not even have the choice. Okay, what do we want to do now? Considering just going to do the hag just to get this legendary bracer, it's an item I've talked about for a very long time. I also want the pagan talisman though too. We haven't even seen the fanatic because I haven't brought anybody that would matter against. Or, I'm sorry, I haven't brought enough guys with the Crimson Curse for us to see the fanatic in a mission. I've avoided that. Well, we're definitely not going to go do this mission because that's going to force us against the thing from the stars. I try to avoid that enemy as well as the Shambler on like higher tier missions. And if we did this location, we're not going to go do this mission for a Lock of Fury. We'd be going here specifically to get the legendary Bracer. Obviously, I want to beat this boss at some point too, but like, there's no reason to go invite problems and fight against the thing from the stars at level 6, or like a high level version of it, a roaming boss before we fight a regular boss. Like, why? I try not to fight bosses on boss levels. Like, a roaming boss before a regular boss is like inviting problems for no reason. But I could go do this mission. The Necromancer Lord's not that big of a deal, especially considering who we have. Like, we're actually pretty well set to fight to destroy him. Because the Necromancer is actually human. He might be a human and unholy, I think. So, like, he can be bled pretty easily. He gets destroyed by the Crusader. Theon's going to do really good against him. Actually, this is a pretty good squad. I could just go rush this mission and get the Pagan Talisman now. Let's go do a level 6. I haven't done a level 6 mission in a very long time. I actually don't even think I've done a level 6 mission on this entire playthrough. Let's go do that. So I'm going to load up with a crew of strong guys. Let's go see if we can't wipe some people here. This is how I'm going to roll with the team here. It's going to be like this. And then every single fight, we're gonna start by putting the Crusader in the back. Every single mission, or every single time. I actually need to switch these guys like this. Because this guy, you gotta think about the way this is set up. The Crusader's gonna move forward, and then he's gonna move forward, and that's gonna displace the Abomination. And the Abominations are gonna switch forms. At the start of the fight, he's gonna just try to hit for a bunch of damage. And I could also switch these guys around if I wanted to as well, and then have like the Flagellant bring like a Redeem. You gotta think about Redeem and Reclaim as like abilities that get used in slots 3 and 4. So I could probably, actually, this is probably a better setup. The way this is set up right now, if I start a fight off by using our Crusader to rush forward twice with Holy Lance, which is going to do absurd amounts of damage to Unholy, then by the second time he uses it, he's going to replace the location of the Flagellant, and the Flagellant's not going to be able to attack anymore. But that's not a big deal, because then at that point, he's not going to switch to the Defender on the team, and I'm going to be able to use Reclaim for the rest of the fight to start healing people, because he'll be in slot 3. But that won't displace the Abomination. I was thinking if I had the Abomination in the other slot, I could give the Abomination like the combo that we've talked about in the past. I could either give him like the Restraining Padlock, or I could give him the thing I've used in the past I've talked about, which is really powerful, which is the Broken Key combo, right? Extra accuracy, extra Sun's kill chance, and then slap on the other one, the green one. We've used it to some relative success here in the Padlock of Transference. And there's actually an argument to be made that that's actually still a good strategy. You know what? Let's try. We can do that. It doesn't matter either way. If I give this item like this, well, hold on. What is the Necromancer Lord's chance of being stunned? Really, really, probably low. That's my guess. 115% chance to not be stunned. So if I was ever going to try to stun him, there's only one guy that can do that job, and that would be the Abomination, right? Because the Abomination would roll with these two items. Being level 6, actually, we need to get the level this ability one more time. Let's go get the raw numbers real quick. If I throw him in here, I level these abilities up. Let's just level them all up. I can't even think about it. What's yours? Same way? I'm not going to use any of those abilities in this mission anyway, so I'm not going to waste the money. I'm not going to use anything else other than that. I'm not going to use Endure here. This is a boss fight. We don't have the time to be stress healing. Well, I mean, Cry Havoc is just really strong. We're not going to be using Hound's Harry in this mission. On this mission, we'd be using. I guess we could still bring Hound's Harry. The reason Hound's Harry isn't as good is because you can't bleed bones, right? You don't bleed anybody with us. So you can make the argument like, then why are you bringing the Flagellant? I understand, but there are still like enemies up front that are usually like occultist that you can bleed pretty easily. Also, like the ghouls and stuff, you can bleed those guys. You can't. He doesn't do very well against the what do you call it? The gargoyles. That's gonna suck. But we do have other people that can take care of that, so it's okay. We'll essentially try to use the Crusader to kill everything that's not bleedable, and then use the Flagellant to kill the things that are bleedable, and then after that the Abomination will just waylay everything else and stun things where possible. I love all the Duper Squire's abilities I did. Definitely going to be using these abilities, Hound's Watch, Therapy Dog, things like that. Before the boss fight, though, I'll probably try to use Psych Up. Plus 25% damage for the next 4 battles is really, really good. Because this is the only character in the game that can actually just kill through all of the random things that the Necromancer spawns. Remember, round 1, the Necromancer's going to spawn something at the start of the fight. And then if I start off with the Abomination up front and he immediately uses Rake and hits 2 people, he won't kill the front guy, but he's going to get stronger. And then he'll rake again, and then he's going to get stronger. And then he's just going to keep on raking. In which case, maybe I don't roll with Broken Key, and I just hyper-focus on as much damage as I can. Stress is not as big of a deal in this mission. I mean, over the course of the whole mission it can be, but maybe I just give you Unholy Slayer's Ring. We just lean into switching forms, and then using the Cry Havoc to keep the stress down. And then Anscott can also run with Inspiring. Yeah, so we can actually have a few stress relievers here. I'm not running with Endure, though. That just seems unnecessary. Okay, that's fine. A little bit different than the way I've played him in the past, but this is like a more all-in, like, you know, Abomination, just constantly transforming and just beating the crap out of things. This will be fun. We haven't done that really at all. You're going to be focusing on killing unholy things, like, almost entirely. So I'm actually going to intentionally give you the Unholy Slayer Ring. That's all you're going to be killing, is just Holy Lancing everything that's unholy. Where's the Unholy Slayer's Ring? Oh, did I give it to him? I did. Let's give him the Berserker Ring instead, then. Extra raw flat percentage damage is pretty strong when he's going to be raking. And remember, crit's not important on rake, right? It's just raw damage. He has a very low chance to crit on this ability in general, so we just want extra flat raw damage, since he's going to be doing extra flat raw damage from it anyways. Every time he hits, it just buffs it again and buffs it again, and he just, like, Gyarados used Raged. Gyarados uses Rage. That's what it reminds me of, or Thrash uses just technically. I think Rage then says Thrashing about afterwards. It's been a long time. All right, why am I looking at her? Give me just the people I care about at the very top here. Thank you. It's really bad to bring this character in general, like a level, like, you know, bringing the, you know what? I think I'm not gonna bring this guy. I think I'm gonna switch. Oops. Let's not bring the Flagellant. Let's not bring the Flagellant. He just doesn't do very well on this location in general. Let's instead bring, I mean, anybody else. Actually, a good option might be the Jester. No, I was thinking the Jester because, you know, the extra stress relief, since the Abomination is going to be switching forms every fight. Downside is that the Jester deals bleed damage, and not so good here. One upside, though, is that Finale is going to crush him. Because I could just literally battle ballad, and then Finale for like 800 against the Necromancer. That might be an okay strategy. Or would I rather just go for a robust guarantee that I'm just going to hit him for a lot? I feel like I'd much rather lean into, like, the long fight, and that's where I'm thinking about using the Grave Robber here. Because if I bring the Grave Robber, the Grave Robber has, like, good damage over time with poison darts, and it's like a, you know, this mission in general is very susceptible to, or this location of the runes is very susceptible to blight. There's also some minor synergy with Beast's Spile here, removing blight resist and all that, but it's not really what I'm looking for. Can also just bring Evil. Now, if we bring Evil, then I'm really, really leaning on too many frontliners. I can't do that. That's greedy. I think I'm kind of forced to bring her. That's okay. Not that big of a deal. Okay, what is the Blight skill chance in this ability? Blight chance is 130. Alright, looking at the wiki, it says that his Blight resist is 60%. So we'd want to get to 160% to guarantee it hits when it does hit. We could do that. I could literally just give her Absinthe. Blight skill chance Disease resist plus 35% blight skill. That's not really relevant here. I'm not really interested in that. Downside about the absinthe is I don't have the other item that goes with it. Maybe I just pick an item that that has a higher percentage chance to actually hit them with blight in general. Do I even have an item that does that? I guess I have blighting satchel, increases its chance of hitting. I could go with this. But I don't even know if that's like really good or if it'd be better just to go with raw damage, honestly. It's an interesting question. What is her accuracy on her abilities? She's relatively high accuracy, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then her darts are even higher accuracy? Wow, okay. So maybe I don't really need like a focus ring or something like that. I can just focus on removing their resistances. Her base... Oh, I actually haven't leveled that ability up. I need to level that up so I can actually see what the real number is once I level this up. Because if I level this up, it increases the blight, the chance, what, to 115%? It goes up by 5%. It's worth it, yeah. She needs... Probably do need to have lunge, though, to make sure we can... Actually, this is really good. This is really good dancing comp. Because if I put the... Yeah, this is going to work out really well. Because if I have her in the lunge slot, she can... Maybe? If I have her in slot... The last... Well, lunge puts her 2 forward, not 1 forward. If I was going to do that, she has to be in slot 4 and start the mission in slot 4 and then lunge forward 2. And then she can't do it again for the rest of the fight because then it displaces the Abomination. Oh, the Abomination would be in slot 2. You could still do it. And then she'd have to use Pick to the Face for the rest of the fight. I guess she could still keep on throwing her poison darts, but she can't do that because she'd be in slot 1. I don't need Pick to the Face then. I guess I want to use Shadow Fade. And use these. Well, I'm certainly not using that. This would be the combination I'd be using. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So we need to level these abilities here. Do like that. And then after that, we'll see if anybody else has anything else to level. Anybody else has anything to level here? I already leveled you. You're leveled now. The Liquid Wounds is terrible. It's just better than Hound's Harry on this mission in general, though. Most of the enemies can't bleed. But Hound's Rush is good because the it just does a lot of raw damage. And has a pretty high percentage chance to bleed. And we're really going for a single target, right? Like, this is gonna just crush the Necromancer. Well, he has no protection at all. So I really just don't even need Target Whistle. I mean, Target Whistle is solid. I mean, it would mark them so they would take more damage from this. So it's still probably better to start the fight off by Target Whistling them and then immediately Hound Rushing him afterwards for like 3 rounds. Still probably worth it. Yeah. He has 8% dodge, which is kind of like not that bad, not that much. It's not even that big of a deal. You just feel really bad to mark him and then immediately miss. That would suck. All right. Let's look at our items, though, now here. We've got... I guess if that's the argument, then maybe I do need to increase our accuracy just a little bit. We'll see. All right, from here... I think... Probably just raw damage or something, or maybe like... Or maybe dodge or something like that. You're at 21 dodge? Which is... No, this is lowering your dodge chance. That's disgusting. That's a terrible cost for her. It should do something else, like lower her percentage health or something. Making her lose dodge is super bad. Yuck. I'm gonna give her the camouflage cloak. And then after that, we will Dupe Squire, kind of like... Again, he's not going to be using Hound's Harry this mission. He's going to be more focused on single target killing. And Crying Havoc here. I don't have like a bright tambourine option for this guy, so maybe it's just like a... Just thinking if I want to go with like a dodge thing. Oh, he's already got 35% dodge. Maybe that is what I go for here. Just go for a where's that item at here? The protective collar, and then I'll give him the Ancestor's map. Ugh. Okay, unequipped all the trinkets. Forgot to take the stuff off of people last mission. Ancestors map like this. We'll go like this. We'll select you. We'll give you these items right back. We'll select you. We'll give you the, we had before, I think I said, I had the Berserker Charm, and I also had the, I think I had the Abomination's Lock, but I don't know why it got put up here. Usually they all take themselves off and place themselves down here. And then the last one we'll say is our Crusader. And the Crusader, again, he's really going to be focused on dealing a lot of damage to Unholy. And if you remember, okay, so, oh, never mind, the enemy, never mind, the Necromancer's not Unholy Human. He's Unholy Eldritch. I thought he was human. Oh, that's good to know. Alright, so I could do a few things here, but I think the best choice is to focus on just dealing as much damage as possible. This isn't going to be a fight of, this fight against him is not going to be, like, focus on, like, we're not going to get a chance to stun him much, right? Because he really has, like, a pretty low chance of being stunned in general. 115% chance to dodge it, or to not be stunned, so, like, that way of playing is kind of gone now. We kind of have to just survive. So I'm going to roll with Surgical Gloves, because this can deal an enormous amount of damage with Holy Lance, and then you paired that together with the fact that if I have the Grave Robber, she can, like, displace herself. The idea here is if I do... Yeah, so what's going to happen is we're going to start the fight off. I'm going to use Holy Lance to go forward, or Shadow Fade, whatever. If Shadow Fade puts her back into slot 3, if she starts in slot 1 and she Shadow Fades back to slot 3, then that'll work out really good, because then the Holy Lance can swing forward, and then she can be put into slot 4. And then after that, then she'll follow up with a lunge. I mean, I guess I'm overplaying this. She can start in slot 3, whatever, and then Shadow Fade back, and then afterwards, I might even put her in slot 4. It doesn't really matter, but having her and the Crusader in the back and having them lunge forward nonstop and just lunging forward, the thing you got to watch out for is I don't want her to get lunged into the front and be in, like, slot 1, and then the Abomination be in slot 2, and then be stuck with my Crusader being in slot 3 and having no choice but to Crusader forward 1 slot, go forward with his Holy Lance, and then after that he's got, like, Abomination, like, just stranded in slot 3 for no reason. That would be terrible. So, alright, I think what I'm going to do here, I can play around that. It'll be okay. Yeah, man, this dude has 30 dodge. Why is your dodge so high? From what? 5 from a Cork? Oh, Luminous, right. Just 25 from armor base. He just gets 25 dodge. Quarter chance to dodge just casually. Crazy. I guess I could give him the Ethereal Crucifix too. Like, extra damage against Eldritch. No, it makes more sense to give him extra damage against Unholy. Who am I kidding? I think this is probably the best thing we could do here. What's your base accuracy and rake? 110. This is removing only 5 accuracy, so it's a pretty high chance it's going to hit. Yeah, I think this is probably the best comp we can come up with right now. Callous Humor's nice here. Do we have any ability to stop ourselves from being snuck up on other than Zealous Vigil, which I don't like? Yes, we do. We have the preventing nighttime ambush there. Okay. Eldritch Blood, Blight Resist, Bleed Resist, more stress, more disease. Yeah, I don't care about that. Anger Management, Self, Extra Stress, all companion. I don't want that. Yeah, it's basically just Psych Up and the Quickening. That's really all. The Quickening is probably what I'll try to use, because I want him to go very, very early and immediately start off by raking and just start to get to rake a lot. Although the Quickening is actually awkward against the Necromancer, because if you start off by raking, then you don't get to hit tooth. Actually, I don't think you can. I think he always starts the fight off. I think the Necromancer always goes first, and before anything happens, he gets to spawn something. That way you can't cheese stun him before he gets a chance to do anything, like we do against this Collector sometimes. Which would then mean the Quickening is good, because then after he spawns this guy, the first guy that gets to go would be the Abomination. Likely. Yes, very likely. He already has 12 speed. You add in the Quickening, then he's just going to be going faster than everybody always. Yeah, that's right, because I have Berserk Charm. Yeah, there's some synergy going on there. Wasn't fully intentional, but it worked out nice. All right, let's go with this. I think this comp's good. Let's go in there and let's try to beat the old Necromancer. Was never my plan, but it's worth it because getting these 2 items, plus this will also knock us over the edge of the crest. Yeah, let's go try this. A little nervous, I'm gonna be honest. I think this is the first time we've done a level 6 mission, or you know, a higher tier mission, champion level, whatever you want to say. Well, we technically started this one and then ran from it. That was an accident. All right. I'm just gonna check one more time. All right. That happened earlier. I don't want it to happen again. I'm gonna make sure we have enough food that this doesn't become an issue here. This is a medium tier mission. I think like that's fine. I'm just bringing extra just in case. Torches aren't really an issue in this location. Anti-venom could be an issue. Like, you know, there's spiders. There's also like, you know, the guys who can apply bleed, the cultists. Technically, horror can happen on this location, so I could start bringing laudanum here. I'll bring a few. I mean, this is the highest tier mission. You know, you start to see uses for laudanum at this higher tier. I'll bring a few holy waters, just because there's a chance we find those vases that like drop stuff here. Medicinal herbs is fine. I don't need a lot more than that though. We got our food. We got our shovels. We only have 1 shovel. What am I doing? 4. It's a medium tier mission. I don't need more than that. Yeah, we got all those. Keys. I don't have any keys. And then after that, I think that's it. Right, yep. Nobody in our team has the Crimson Curse. Yeah, we're good there. Everybody has items. They do. Do you have your darts picked? You do. Everybody has their level 5 abilities selected correctly. They do. Yep. That's it.
I brought my colleagues back with much of their intellect intact. A remarkable triumph for even the most experienced necromancer. Freed from the trappings of their humanity, they plied their terrible trade anew. The dead reviving the dead, on and on down the years. Forever.
That forever is really foreboding.
A devil walks these halls. Only the mad or the desperate go in search of him.
Since I'm not using Hound's Harry here, I can actually put the Hound Master further up than I normally do. The only downside is you have to remember I can't use Cry Havoc at the start of a fight. I'll have to use Hound Rush immediately. But the reason I'm switching these guys the way they are now is this will make it so that they, like if I set them up the way I have them set up here, I can immediately start. If he goes first, there's a chance he could go first, probably actually a pretty low chance he goes first. But I can start the fight by immediately having her use lunge. I guess if I do that, I'm gonna do it this way. She goes first, which is very highly likely she'll go first because she's got 10 speed and he's got 5 speed. I mean, he'll go first, he's got 12 speed. But what I'm saying here is she can move forward too with lunge, and then he can be in 4 slot and then move forward with his Holy Lance. And then after that, get to move forward with his Holy Lance again, and then afterwards she can lunge again to like, and just keep on lunging. If we like stagger them like this, while keep maintaining our location for our abomination, and then our Houndmaster doesn't care where he gets moved to. He doesn't care at all. So that's going to be actually a bonus for us. All right, I'm going to go down this way. There's only 1 fight in this hallway anyway. You have the ancestors map, right? Yeah. This will be our first level 6 fight. Let's see how this goes. This hall at the very end is what I'm referring to. I'll probably burn one torch before we get there. We'll get that after this fight. I'll burn 1. All right, let's go. See how this goes. All right. Bone Bearer. All right. Transforming. Going for a raw hit here, right? Buff him up here. We'll go for a rake.
Well struck.
21 crits broken. Look at that. See, look at this. Plus 25% damage because of his little standard in the back. Not something we've really seen much of. I'm just gonna go for a kill. I guess this guy, I don't know if he has really high bleed resist, right? Yeah, 240. So we'll just go to kill this guy.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
And then we will go for a blight on this guy. Because he has low blight resistance. Yeah, that's fine. And then we're gonna lunge forward with him and try to take this guy out with a Wicked Surge. I know what that is. Extra damage for the next few rounds. Yeah, you can see why that could be powerful. Yep, and then we'll lunge at him. Get him down to almost nothing here. He just dies basically. He's basically dead. Look at him, he's spawning, guys. See why you want to kill him really quickly? But see, that's the nice part about Rake. I can just keep on adding Rake. Just keep on, like, powering him up further and further. I'm gonna finish this guy. Oh, missed him. Alright. Let's finish him. Alright, he's dead. When his turn comes. Which is really important. We don't really care that she gets pulled if she does get pulled. Because we have lunch. Or I guess, Shadow Fade. Yep. Alright, here we will do extra damage to Unholy, I guess. Hit this guy. Yep. Extra damage to Unholy still coming through, right? Foul Warding. These other abilities we haven't seen a lot of because we're at the highest tier levels now. Alright, go for a Rake here. Ooh, you're feeling it. Feeling it. Plus 75% damage for the next certain amount of rounds. It starts stacking, it starts mattering. Alright, this guy is basically dead. If I attack him, it's gonna hit him anyway, so I guess I just throw out a knife. Well, I didn't kill him anyway, wow. Okay. Oh my god. Did you really survive with 1 health? 70% protection is brutal, dude.
The enemy crumbles.
I'm gonna have to start using your, I did bring it, right? No, I did bring Target Whistle, we're okay. The ability to, wow, that's a lot of stress. Wow. Wow, he's at 65 stress and the mission just started. I should have just done the Rake. I don't know what I was doing there. Lunge him out. See how powerful lunge is there? All right.
Maintain the offensive.
I don't know. I mean, yes, I'll take the money, but over what? I guess the food? I'm not gonna take the other stack though. Let's just go back. That was our first fight. We got to see what it was looking like, and you can see the stress like that we just took. Like it was like nothing. We just took an enormous amount of stress from nothing. Yep. Guess we take this. I'm just gonna leave the anti-venom behind. I don't really care about that much right now. We're gonna see a lot more stuff. I mean, you don't really need to rush the torch stuff. I don't know. It's an interesting question. Do I take the money or do I take the torches? Or, I mean, do I take the money or do I take the onyx? Because we're gonna see more onyx. Very high likelihood, because this is a higher tier mission. I don't know. Maybe we don't, and then we just take what we learned from previous missions. Don't worry about it on a medium tier mission like this.
The light, the promise of safety.
I don't know. I'll speculate. I'll take one of those here. Hunger check. This early is pretty brutal. We've been through 2 rooms. All right, we're okay though. We're doing just fine. Let's see if we can beat this dude. Okay, this is where we use our holy water. So why we bring it. Wow. Okay, so this is where we start to actually see the rubies. Did not see that you were streaming. Hey John, what's up, buddy? No worries at all, man. It's good to see you. All right, I might drop the laudanum here. Just take the ruby here. Might even just drop this and just go with this. I don't know. I'm just gonna be greedy. I feel like this is the kind of mission where you get to stack a lot of good things. All right, what is your trapped charm chance? Let's go for a greed here. We needed that stress relief. That was big. All right. Oh yeah, I want to switch these guys back around. You get in the very back. Actually, you get in the very, very back. That way you can lunge for a lot to start the fight. Yeah, look at all this bust. My God. Busts are very common in this location. Let's just drop the holy water and drop the jade and just bring the busts. We're gonna see more busts. Are we gonna fight here? An actual, real fight here, right? Just try to take out the guys that are, yeah, okay. Bone General, it's fine. It's actually really good for us. We're really good against unholy guys, so. I'm switching forms. As I said, this whole fight, this whole mission, we're gonna... Oh, I clicked the wrong ability there. That was brutal. That was bad. That was bad. I was trying to switch forms. Should have switched forms and attacked immediately. That was an accident. Man. Okay, we'll remove his protection, though. I guess that's nice. Then we can Holy Lance him. Holy Lance that dude.
A devastating blow.
Oh my god! See that crit and all that, how much that does? My god, that was a lot of damage. That feels real good. This is gonna hurt. Oh, 6 is not that much. I was expecting a big crit. Sure. Alright, the Crusader really carried that round. He dodged and he hit for a 51 crit. That was dumb. Dumb. But that was because of this. We removed 30% of his protection. Like, just almost outright killed him from that. Let's remove some stress, which might seem a little strange here, but we need to do this when we can. Just kind of hoping to see that go on our Crusader there, but that's okay. All right, let's switch forms properly this time, please. I messed up last time. That was my fault, so. All right, now we'll go ahead and slam, or I guess rage. Try to hit the bad guy. Well, that's not good. So you've been essentially irrelevant 2 times in a row now. I can lunge and hit you, right? No, I can't even hit you back there. Just keep hitting him with blight. Blight him out of the fight. Cool. He'll die. He'll die next round. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. All right. This guy's almost dead. I think I can just kill him straight up.
A victory.
Look at extra damage this guy's dealing.
Turning point.
The extra damage to Unholy is huge. This guy has missed all 3 of his attacks. That's so brutal. Maybe I can just... Just trying to think of what I want to do here. Might have to Shadow Fade with her to get a little pressure off of her. If that's the case, then maybe I just go for raw damage. And then I'm gonna... Oh, she can't Shadow Fade from here. Okay, make sure he dies then. Make sure he's dead. That's fine. He's dead, so...
Great is
all right,
the weapon that
don't attack the back
cuts
line,
on its
please.
own.
Awesome, that's fine. That's great. He has an enormous amount of dodge. That was totally cool for us. All right, let's remove some stress. I'm actually going to use this on himself because he has a lot of stress, so this is doing double duty. All right, could you please hit 1 time? Thank you. 26 after 3 misses in a row. This is where the portraits start flowing, right? This map is where you get a lot of portraits. I'm actually going to probably just drop... well... I want to keep the dog treats for the boss fight. I'm kind of trying to. Maybe I drop the rubies and just take the portraits. 1 ruby. You know, like, I mean, I can get more than 1 ruby here, but what's debuff? Minus, yeah. I want to keep the medicinal herbs in case some really bad debuff happens. So as we haven't really run into bad debuffs yet in this game because we've been at lower tier missions. Honestly, I could probably just say to heck with the jewels entirely if I really wanted to be like extra conservative. I could just drop the rubies and the onyx and just take, you know, the portraits. I'm never going to be sad that I have portraits, like, you know, just taking these home in general. So we're gonna at least go through 4 more or 5 more rooms, right? Because I don't know if I'll go up in the top section here because since this is a boss, the boss is always the furthest from your current location. So the boss is going to be in the far right bottom corner, that little awkward corner area we haven't been to yet, right? Like that room right there in the map. So we've still got to go up, right. That's already 2 fights left, though, for sure we have, plus whatever else we see. I'd like to hold on to the firewood until we take a little bit more damage, and so we heal up a little bit more. I also don't want to sleep this early because I don't get any of the real buffs that you get from sleeping. I can't drop the torches. I don't really care about the onyx. I'd love to keep the dog treats for like the boss fight, but it might not end up happening. I mean, it's probably not going to happen, let's just be honest. It's interesting. I could just drop the deeds. Like, the deeds are far less likely to get 6 copies of them in this mission because, you know, this mission is mostly portraits and busts. I wouldn't be bothered by doing that. That's fine. I could just ignore the rest of this. Ignoring 1,000 golds feels like crazy person talk. But like, listen, you know, I'm still kind of speculating on finding more. I mean, look how much money we've already found, and we've been through 3 rooms. We're gonna find enough. We're gonna fill our inventory. Let's just leave this. We're gonna fill our inventory fine. We'll find enough stuff to fill. Yeah, like this right here, if you interact with this and you use the holy water, we find more things, but we don't even have a holy water, so what are we getting this time? Look,
Glittering gold,
more jewels and crap.
trinkets and baubles, paid for in blood.
Unfortunately, none of them lined up with what we had. Maybe it's worth taking this over the dog treats now. Or maybe the medicinal, maybe it's the medicinal herbs. I'll drop the medicinal herbs. Yep. Crests were expected. I said, like, you occasionally find crests in this map. Now, 8 crests is worth more than 2 busts, right? Remember, because a bust stack in stacks of 6 and crest stack in stacks of 8. So a crest is worth half a bust, right? So this is 4, equivalently 4 busts. So I can go like this and not feel bad. Okay. Okay. Oh, I got the Crusader up front. He shouldn't be up front. That's a mistake. Is this guy alive? No, he's unholy as well. Any of these guys they all have really high amounts of dodge, which is atrocious. All right, we're switching forms. I'm going for a rake here. Look at that raw damage. Disgusting. All right, let's just finish him off then. And then you can finish him off.
Destroyed.
Yep, that's fine. Stress on the guy with the most amount of stress. That makes about sense. I would expect nothing less. You can also attack the back line. Okay. Seeing our guy who has the most stress take more stress is always annoying to me. It irritates me a lot. All right, now I'll go for a rage and just try to kill him. Man, the dodging is just unreal. All right. So he's gonna die next round. Look at that Tempe Goblet. I wonder if the game has an internal clock or internal thing that decides who he's gonna hit. You can't tell me that the game doesn't, like, literally say, okay, he's got the most stress, let's keep attacking him with stress. Like, you can't, and I just cannot land my howl on him. Okay.
Death waits.
Sure game.
For the slightest lapse in concentration.
Sure game. All right, I'm gonna have to sleep here in a second here. This guy's gonna die from, okay, let's go ahead and stress relieve. Is this next room a fight? It's not, so we'll be able to camp soon. It's okay. All right, I'm gonna rage these bodies away here. Or rake them away, I mean. Cool. Now they're up right close to us, so I can actually kill them. And then we're gonna remove stress, because stress is really the thing that I'm scared of. Nice, finally. Yep. And then stun him if I can get away with it. If I can stun him, that would be so nice. Give me a stun. Give me a free stun. Okay, well, that's fine.
Life is taken.
Bayonet jab, that's fine. Him being up close is where I want him to be, so let's go with the stress reliever real quick here. And then everybody else is going to just remove or heal themselves. Alright, we're going to have you switch back forms, I think. I guess I could just have you rage. Or rake. He just cannot hit, I swear to God. Alright, remove stress. Alright, yep. Bayonet jab. Awesome, on the guy I wanted to see it on. I wanted to see it hit him. I actually wanted to see him take the damage. Cool, so now I can actually remove more stress one more time. Now I need to kill him after this round. I need to stop playing.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
I've literally dodged. Like, he's dodged like everything. Like, why are you missing everything? Like, what is your accuracy? Like, I know you have -5 accuracy from this, but the ability itself has 110% accuracy base. The odds of you missing are so ridiculously low, and you just keep missing, and it's really irritating. All right, remove that stress. Awesome. Kill him. He's gonna die from just blighting out, which is great.
The slow death, unforeseen, unforgiving.
Well, that's a legendary. That's the very rare item I've talked about multiple times. Thought about picking up, never did, because I was like, I don't know if it's worth dropping or doing a whole mission for this. This is worth taking over the ruby for sure, 1000% of the time. I'm gonna drop the ruby, and I might even just take the money here. could also be really greedy to do this. I'd actually rather just have the onyx and not the ruby, though. I think the onyx, I'm more likely to find more onyx than a ruby. Just in general, I think so. All right, now that since I did that, I'm actually not going to camp. I'm just gonna push forward another room. Hunger checks right after you use your food is criminal. I hate when the game does that.
The cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
All right, we gotta use a torch here now. Cool. Okay, kill the bone bear. Oh, I keep forgetting. Ugh. What is his protection? 15%? Alright, debuffed him. Alright, change forms, don't screw this up. Alright, rake him. Just start raking. Alright, yep. See, the game is so, like, it just cheeses. It just attacks the same guy with stress over and over and over. Like, that's so dumb. Stop. Yep, that's fine. He's tanky, I don't really care about that. Yep, use your buff somebody. Yeah, buff some random guy, that's fine. See, I messed up by not having this, guy in the back, and I need to have him in the back. I should have had the Crusader in the very, very back slot, and I messed that up. I've talked a lot about why that is, so. Thinking about one. Well, luckily Rank will kill him, so it's fine. Yeah, alright, cool. I don't feel so bad then. Yep. I guess I should be attacking this. Oh yeah, you're blocking for him anyways, doesn't even matter. Yeah, sure. Yep. Lunge doesn't hit him because he's in the back slot. Yep. Yep. Oh, that's a nice dodge though. Man, his 70% protection is just absurd. That's fine. 14 damage is way too much. Like what? Unholy rally? Oh, you're spawning another guy? That's fine. That's not really a concern, honestly. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't really care about the extra guys. We hit for a lot. Dodging is absurd. Yeah, make sure that guy's... Yeah, you hit that guy with every stress incantation. The entire mission, this guy has been the only target the whole mission for those stressful incantations. I'm actually getting irritated. That's crap. Please kill this guy.
A
Thank you.
decisive pummeling.
This guy has been hit by every single stressful incantation from these guys. No. Oh, and he somehow dodged the stun? Alright, lunge this guy off the planet. Wicked Surge, sure. Yeah, that's fine, I don't care about that. Crit's annoying.
Injury. Palpable fear.
We're gonna have to sleep here after this fight. We should be okay, but... Big hit, that was good.
A brilliant confluence of skill and purpose.
Get out of here, idiot. Cheeser. Like, look how much stress this one guy took. Like, really? Come on.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
See what I was talking about, where we fight all these crests and all these busts? This is like kind of like the core thing you want to take on this mission. And generally you want to take those. And again, like, crests, busts are probably worth more than just 2 random onyx. Of course, I haven't used the dog treats, but I said I was going to try to use these against the boss. I'd love to use this feast. I'd love to feast here. Oh, I didn't take these items, I meant to, but that's okay. I'd love to feast here, but I don't think I can get away with it, because if we get hunger checked one more time, then we're done, and there's multiple rooms left. Oh, there's a special room. Well, that relieves any of the fear I have about thinking about extra goods for the rest of the mission. Just burn through these last few rooms and we're done. Okay. And even if we fail this mission, we still get out successful because we're going to end up with so much money from this secret door. Okay, so even if we fail, I still feel good. All right. All right, let's remove some stress. Self only minus 25% stress is pretty good. Also prevents nighttime ambush. That'd be good here too. We're gonna do, I don't need scouting chance anymore. We already scouted an enormous amount there. We've already prevented nighttime ambush. So here we'll go ahead and use therapy dog. And then after that, probably gallows humor. Man, of course the guy I wanted to see the stress removed from was the one that rolled poorly on. Shut up, game. Whatever. Okay. We're still much better off than we were before. All right.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
We want you... Well, that was not what I wanted to do. You go up here. This is the order we want people in. Okay, so now I'll go ahead and use the skeleton key and understand I'm going to blow through whatever I take is... Oh, nice food.
Loot are often low on supplies.
I don't care about the money. Like, I don't, because we're going to be leaving here with... Like, look at the stuff we've already got here, right? We're leaving with... For sure, we're going to be going home with... These are debatable over here. We're for sure going to be leaving with the stuff that's on the far right, the last 6 slots over there. Maybe the money, we'll see. But the trapezahedrons will replace, like, the super rare jewels that we're going to be having. They're going to replace the torches, the emeralds, and the shovels, probably. It looks like we actually have no obstacles in front of us, but I don't play that game. I might see them, so we're going to play as if. I'm going to ignore the money. We don't need that. We do need some food, though. I guess if we get hunger checked, okay, so it's still probably worth throwing a few food at this Crusader here. I'm not going to do it, though, because there's a chance that, yeah. Okay, this is a much easier fight. We really needed some help here. This is good. All right, cool. Just pile damage on this idiot. We really needed some help. Because, like, since there's less guys in this fight, it means that there's a higher chance that we can actually just walk away super quick with a few quick kills here. We'll just throw a dagger and kill this guy. And then we can actually just... Do I go for this? Yeah, that's a lot of damage, so that's worth it. See, that worked out really well, right? Because he hasn't spawned anybody extra. The 2 times we've run into this annoying guy, he's had like 3 people with him, so it's really hard to get to him. But since it's only just him here, he's spawning another thing, but he doesn't have 4 guys with him. It's not almost impossible to reach him like it has been. So now we can actually reach him a lot easier, which is really big. I'm actually going to take a turn off the Crusader here and try to remove some stress if I can. Yeah, and then we'll spin this round using the grave robber to kill the guy he just wasted his whole turn buffing, which will work out really nice. And then we can Crusader heal himself and also remove stress. So that was a few really good rounds that helped a lot. A lot of little ticks that we got there. Awesome. This is going very well here. All right, so we'll try to wipe. You can see how this rate gets stronger and stronger and stronger over the course of the fight. It matters a lot. Okay. And then we will just finish him off. So we're just killing him as he stands him up. It's not even a big deal. He passed his round because he was gonna buff somebody and he couldn't do it. You see what I'm talking about? Like how this is powerful? Now I need to kill him. I can't keep playing with him. I need to kill this guy before something gets worse. He's also slowly, like, you know, depleting the torch. Just removing stress where I can here. You see how it's adding up really, like a lot of stress relief here. And now I'm actually killing the enemies when I swing them at them because every time he uses Rake, he gets stronger. His Rake gets stronger every additional time he uses it. So we're really starting to see this stack. Extra stress relief is adding up. Yep, use your Unholy Rally. Defend the icon? What in the world is that? Okay. I've never seen that ability, but that's fine. Yeah, just go for a Thrash then. Or a Rake, I mean. Oh, right, he's at 1 health. That's great for us. Okay. Stress relief here. Okay. And we will just kill him. Alright, see, that went well. On the money, right?
Victory,
like,
but a victory nonetheless.
The money's kind of an awkward spot here because, like, what am I going to take over? Or what am I going to take the money over, right? Like, the trapezahedrons are going to replace 3 of these things. Maybe just drop the dog treats. I will. I'm gonna push. I'm not gonna go into the secret room yet. Then we'll come back after we hopefully beat this boss. That's the goal. That's how I'm gonna play this. All right, break this. All right, burn this torch is fine. I just hope we don't get a lot of random enemies spawn on our backtrack.
Otherworldly corruption.
All right, this is the last major fight before the boss. Well, I mean, there's a chance that we have more enemies spawn in the next hallway, but it's a lot lower than this fight that we obviously already see on the screen. All right, no major rally thing, nothing crazy here, and we got a surprise off, which is huge. All right, and these guys are human, so we can actually deal a lot more damage to them. Or we can bleed them, I mean to say. They actually can bleed. All right, change forms. And we'll just rake. I should have put the Crusader in the 4th slot. I keep forgetting to do it. I just cannot remember to do it. I need to do that, though. Alright. Huh. Sure. I'm gonna go for a stun with the Crusader here. Oh, stunned him down to 2. Or 3 health, my god. That was nice. I don't care. Structural incantation is nothing here. Don't care about that at all. I'm more afraid of just having one of our guys get crit to 0. That's what I'm worried about. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about is that. Yeah, getting knocked down, hit for 12 there is an enormous amount of damage. That's terrifying. That's fine. Hitting that guy doesn't matter at all. All right, let's go for a rake here. Didn't quite kill the front guy, but he's a lot of protection, so it's kind of expected. All right, we will go for a bleed on you. All right, you will die next round. That's fine. Pushing him doesn't matter. I don't care about that. All right, I'd love to kill this guy in the back if I can reach him, but I doubt I can, because he's got a lot left to go before he dies. And I missed him. Brutal. Don't attack the back slot. Okay. Yeah, he's got a really high amount of dodge. It's really nice here. You can see why it sucks to forget to put the Crusader in the back slot, because then he can't wholly lance like and rush the backliners. But the rate kind of makes up for it. We can reach him anyway. We bring him up close here. Just kill her. Dodge is brutal, man. 34 dodge is stupid. Okay, I don't care about you stressing him out. That doesn't matter at all. All right, let me kill this guy before he gets a chance to attack, please. Actually, I can just throw a knife at you. Yep, you might just die from blight here. No, not quite. You're gonna go to 1, 2. 8 nat jabs, not that big a deal. Yeah, dodge, that's fine. I'm gonna be greedy here. These guys actually, no, it's not even greedy. Let's just go for a heal here. All right, let's switch forms here. I'm gonna let these guys bleed out. We're gonna switch back. Then we're gonna use Absolution. Heal ourselves, remove some stress. Like whatever. These guys are gonna die no matter what anyway. Be nice to howl here. Or do I heal? Maybe I heal. Sure. Okay. So this finishes that stack off.
Low and driven into the mud.
I'm gonna keep the skeleton keys. How many fights in this room? Any? Damn it, we had an extra fight before the boss. That sucks. I mean, it could go well, right? Maybe the fight leads us to actually get more heals off, and then we actually are even better prepared before the fight. That could be a thing. It could be a thing. He's working a corporate job at this point. Oh, I didn't even think about something. We might get hunger checked on the way back, and then actually, like, because we're hungry, we might die because we're hungry. Wow. I hope that doesn't happen. It could happen. Hopefully we get lucky and we don't get hunger checked on the way to this fight. Switch you clear to the back like I've forgotten 1,000 times to do. This. Okay. Shorter fight, more heals can actually happen here. This is fantastic. Okay, cool, cool, cool. This could be big. A smaller fight is big. Because it's more time to actually heal and offset some of that crap that's been happening to us. Let's see if we can just... And then our Crusader's gonna heal. That's totally cool. Awesome. We're fine with that. Stress is not really relevant. I don't even think the Necromancer does stress damage, so that's fine. I'm just gonna go for a lunge and try to just kill this guy. Yes! Okay, that was huge. Okay, that was a hell of a crit. Cool. Yeah, him getting crit was just stupid because that puts him almost to stress levels of 100. But the nice part here, though, is I get the chance to actually heal. Like a big heal. Like, we needed a heal, so that was good. Alright, you are taking way too much damage. He got cheese stressed twice.
The walls close in. The shadows whisper of conspiracy.
So he got stressed out, so he switched forms back, which is cheese. That's okay, this guy's dead, though. No. No stressful incantation, you're just dead. Okay. I can kill him before he gets the chance. Awesome. Awesome. So we're gonna go into this fight with one free damage steroid boost because I used...
star is born.
So I switched her spot, or I put her in the back. Hold on. I gave her Shadow Step at the end of that fight. That way she could actually get the chance to use this extra damage for the next whatever round. If we get the chance to, we might actually be able to actually use this the next fight. That was the last thing that I did at the end of the fight, specifically hoping that maybe I would be able to actually lunge and get a bonus out of it. Oh, I might be able for one more round crit, extra dodge for a few rounds. I think I get to use it. All right, so I need to use food here. Keep her up. And then we got to go in there with what we got. This is gonna be a boss fight. Here we go. All right. Yep, let's do this. All right, boss fight. Let's go.
Towering, fierce, terrible, nightmare-made material.
All right, so I switch forms here, and I just start raking. And that's all he's gonna be doing the whole fight. Just rake, 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 rake. That's all he does. This guy has no protection already, right? No protection, so you just keep pound rushing him. Bleed him and bleed him and bleed him if we can. Great. Okay, don't attack those guys. Come on! That's a wild amount of damage. Alright. We're gonna blight him. That's a good crit.
The ground quakes.
We got a long way to go. That was a good crit, though. I see why I want to use that ability. Alright, see, Rake's really good here. Don't give up your turn, though, please. Rake's really good here, see? Because I can still hit the invisible guy. I just realized that I just put the guy in the back like I said I didn't want to do. I just screwed myself there bad. Hopefully we don't get punished for it. No, why do you keep attacking the... You keep attacking the guys with... You're cheesing. Wow. Oh yeah, we can still slam though, can't we? Okay, okay.
Oh, a singular strike.
Oh, he's bleeding out. Okay. We might be okay. Okay. Stop hitting her.
injury and despondence set the stage for heroism or cowardice.
Stun him. Nice. Oh, what's this guy's health at? He's gonna... Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh my god, the dodges are stupid. Yep.
Such a terrible assault.
Look at this damage, dude. Are you kidding me? He's crit twice. Oh my god. I'm getting cheesed here. We're gonna get wiped.
The sin is not in being outmatched, but in failing to recognize it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna die here from this. I'm not gonna let that happen. We are going to get our treasures, and we're gonna lick our wounds and accept that we failed in this mission. Why is walking backwards a thing that's happening to us right now? I don't know why it's not just letting us walk normal. Okay, I'm not gonna go. We would have died if I had continued fighting there. We had two guys on death's door. No reason to chance that. I'm gonna go to our treasure room and gather what we can, lick our wounds, accept that we lost. We're gonna get hit by a hunger check here in a second, but that's okay. Is this worth more than anything else I'm holding? No. We're gonna get our trapezohedron and we're gonna get the hell out of here. I guess that actually was worth more than what I had. Like, I could have dropped the shovels. That was the wrong play. I should have kept that 750 gold. That was a tilt play probably on my end. Actually, there's still a few boxes of random crap. Probably all right. Yeah, okay, there you go. Kind of makes up for it. We did lose part of our stack, but that's okay. Still haven't been hunger checked, which is kind of wild. Wow, we didn't even get hunger checked. No extra stress, nothing. Awesome. Yes, we lost, or no, we didn't lose. We didn't beat the boss, but we got out with our lives and a lot of treasure, so it's totally fine.
Waiting to be spent.
I clicked run one time and it worked, which is crazy good. We didn't lose anybody. Yeah, we just leave, and you know, we lost some guys, but we didn't lose, right? We didn't lose. Like, look how much money we walked out with. That's not a loss. Yeah. Fine to me.
Wounds to be tended, lessons to be learned.
I mean, look how we walked out of there with. That's a solid mission. Yep. All right. Okay, so Beast Hater replaced Armor Tinker, which is actually good. Beast Hater is a good thing. It's better. Mercurial is like kind of whatever. Pluto and Slow, yeah, these are bad. Lethargy we want to get rid of. Randoms, yeah. Okay, so yeah, higher chance of rolling bad things on the way back home.
Let me share with you the terrible wonders I have come to know.
One of the downsides about leaving a mission, or is beating a mission, leaving a mission, whatever you want to say, one of the downsides about when a mission ends is that the narrator talks, and it's like, I want to talk about what happened, and he just wants to talk. I'm like, so we lost in the greater scheme of things. We didn't, but we lost in the sense that we had to run. But that's kind of like what the narrator said. He's like, the greater sin is not in, you know, losing but not knowing that you've lost, or is not in running but not knowing when to run, essentially. And I don't feel bad running there. We just saved ourselves from losing some good characters, right? Now we do have our guy, you know, we have guys locking things I don't really like to see locked, but at the same time, you know, she locked Gambler, which is good. I want to get rid of Scattering and Plutomania. I'll lock Natural Eye and Beast Hater. She's got some good stuff on her. Yeah, we're in a good spot. I mean, sure, we didn't walk out of there with everything, but we walked out of there with a lot of money and a lot of like crests, and now we can actually lock in that puppet theater we were talking about, increasing our just static amount of stress that we relieve every week, which will be helpful because obviously we've got a lot of stressed out guys now. I'm gonna get them help anyways, but House of the Yellow Hand. Bounty Hunters, Grave Robbers, and Highwaymen have 4% extra crit and 5% extra scouting chance flat. Yeah, I'll take that. Now we're out of blueprints, which means now every other blueprint we get is from bosses. So we got to go boss hunting if we want to finish these other buildings. But we're also pretty far away from actually finishing them anyway because they cost quite a bit of resources. 300 crests, we only got 24. You know, Red Hook costs 7. No, Red Hook is actually a vanity thing. This a monument with no purpose other than the proclamation of one's dedication. This is basically just like, you know, swag. You know, you get the Red Hook to kind of, it's the Red Hook Studios logo, I think probably is what this is my guess. But it's also just a vanity thing to be like, hey, I've done everything in the game. I finished everything. Now I have money to blow and things to do whatever with. So, but yeah, so we're in a pretty good spot overall. There's a few things I still need to knock out on here, but those are all bonuses that we've been slowly stacking. And even though it looks like we kind of lost, because it's funny, I've done 4 missions today. I ran away from the first one because I accidentally clicked a higher tier mission than I meant to, and the game bugged out and let us go into a mission it shouldn't have allowed us to. It's still hate that bug exists in this game. It's the second time it's caught us in like the last 2 episodes. I've played like 84 weeks of gameplay now, 84 in-game weeks, which is multiple different dungeon dives. You know, I've dove into a dungeon almost 85 times now. Is that right? Make sure that's right. This is now week 86, right? Yeah, so week 86. So that'll be 86 weeks we've gone into dungeons, like 86 different dungeons. 2 of those dungeons out of 86 we've had to run because we accidentally entered into a dungeon where the enemies were stronger than we anticipated. Both of those enemies that we jumped, both of those missions that I'm referring to, were both in the last like 10 weeks. So the first time it was an accident, the second time was an accident as well, and which was really frustrating because we had joked about how we weren't ever going to let that happen again. So it did happen again to us. But then we went into the next mission today, so that was the first mission. We accidentally went into the wrong one, had to immediately dodge. We went into the same mission again because nothing changed. We could go right back in if we wanted to, but we had some stressed out guys. We went in that one and it was like, okay, let's go try to beat it again. Didn't happen the second time, and instead we found the Shambler and finished the Shambler off, though, which was good because we finally finished off all of the Shambler items, like the unique ancestor items that you can only get from the Shambler, right? Like there's a bunch of ancestral items in the game, but there are 5 late game items, these 5 ancestral items that were kind of stolen by the Shambler, and you have to kill the Shambler to get these super late game items. And it's awesome how you can actually get them early game. I love how that's like the other ancestral items, you have to go and get them by doing like upper tier ridiculous missions, like, you know, this. Well, I don't even see an ancestral item on any of these right now, which is kind of annoying. I can't show you what I mean. But these red tier champion level missions are where you get those items. But there's 5 you can only get from beating the Shambler, which the Shambler is available to you from the very start of the game. You just have to get lucky enough to find a Shambler altar. But if you kill him, you get it. And we've got all 5. So even though we had to run from that mission, we were able to finish off our collection of 5, which is cool. And then we did another mission, which we beat. And then we did the 4th mission, which is the one we just did, where we try to fight against the Necromancer, but we weren't able to pull it out because that Necromancer was a lot tougher. Well, there were a few reasons. One of them was because the enemies kind of beat us up before we got to the fight. By the time we got to the fight, we were struggling. So we didn't go in there with full health. Also, we had quite a few bad misses that just really sucked. So, but we're okay. We did finally. Now our guys are stressed out, but stress is nothing. Stress is something that takes a week. It's like, okay, we fought, but we lived to fight another day, right? We ran, but we lived to fight another day. No real big deal. We didn't lose anybody. Nothing bad happened. None of these guys will do that. They all have to go to, like, they're all drinkers, aren't they, or something? Yeah. So you're a bar drinker. Do I remove your stress? I mean, we have a puppet theater. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do it. Bar drinker. You're also a bar drinker, aren't you? You're all tipplers. No, you'll only gamble. So you want to do this. I guess I'll unlock it. It's probably have to.
All manner of diversion and dalliance await those who cross the threshold with coin in hand.
All right. So even though it didn't go well, it still went acceptably, you know, okay. Like, we still walked out of there with a lot of resources. Nothing was lost. All of our guys are still intact. All of our items are still intact. We get to fight another week. We made some money, unlocked some new things in the city. That's what I'm saying. Like, even though it's frustrating we didn't beat that boss, that was the first time I've ever ran from a boss. Like, really, like a real boss. Not like the Crocodilian, which is a random, like, you know, world boss that you run into occasionally, like a mini boss. But yeah, so a little terrifying. There was a chance that would have went poorly, but we got lucky with our roll. I actually don't know what the percentage chance is to, like, fail a flee is, but we were able to flee successfully, so I feel good about it. A lot of rare items here this week. Probably worth buying too, because I don't have all these. I'll buy the Sun Cloak for sure. But the Rampart Shield is an item I've thought about picking up a few times. This is the item that makes it so that your Man-at-Arms can actually play like a different kind of build. He can focus on shield bashing people with this Rampart ability. Just keeps on punching them, knocking them back. So we'll pick that up. Manslayer's Ring, we've already got 3 of. I don't need 4 of those. Dark Crown, minus 25% stress if the torch is low. Minus, or plus 15% virtue chance if the torch is below. So this is like a weird item, first off, but I don't know. I'll buy it, just to have it. What is that? Snake oil? Common, just minus 10% stress in general. That's interesting, like a snake oil salesman, like it actually helps you even though it's not really doing anything. Cool. But yeah, I think that's... Yeah, we're fine. It feels almost like things went wrong, but it really didn't. Man, this character sucks. The yips and slow draw. Yuck. You don't care about any of that. Is there anybody here worth anything? Photomania is solid, but I'm not really interested in taking a person that doesn't have any good quirks at this stage. None of that's... Hot to Trot, Manslayer. Wow. Hot to Trot's really good. Base is mediocre. Yeah, none of these people really matter. But yeah, I think we're in a really good spot to, like, you know, kind of move forward, even though we did dodge there. So that's okay. Let's see what else is available out there. I think I'm not gonna play another one here. I'm just gonna kind of casually get off here in a few minutes here, at least take a break for a bit. But I want to at least see what the landscape looks like to see what our next mission would be. I can't just go right back in here no matter what, anyways. But All Saints Day. I am interested in this Gentle Tide. I would like to go beat the Luring Siren, but we don't really have the means to do that. We need more level 4 characters here. I'm really more interested in beating the Swine King here. Fresh air in the tunnels. Oh wow, this actually might work out well. Wow, this might be what we do. If we go do this mission, which is a orange tier mission, we could bring our level 3s, all level 3s, go try to beat it, and if we beat it, then we'd have a 4, at least 2 or maybe 4 level 4s. Hold on, how much does it take to level up? 8? If we got it, if any of these guys leveled up, that'd be a shame if they didn't. But what I'm saying is if, like, Neeland, you know, Palai, these 2 characters, if they leveled up, then we would have 4 level 4s, good level 4s, to go immediately beat the Swine King. It would be in a really good spot to beat the Swine King, which is more up our alley where we're speed-wise right now, what we want to do. So that's probably what I'll do at the beginning of the next episode is do this, and then go try to beat the Swine King right afterwards. Because if we beat this mission, remember, Fresh Air in the Tunnels is a mission that if you beat it, makes it so that another mission on the same location will actually deal more damage. This is another reason why it matters a lot to do missions that stack buffs like this. Like, if I go do this random mission that gives us Fresh Air in the Tunnels, it gives you extra 15% damage on this mission. Extra 15% matters a lot against bosses, right? I was using that at the green tier missions and showing how powerful that is. You could kind of see there, the first 2 times we fought against the Necromancer, the first time was a joke. Second time, we beat him like, it was like, oh, okay, we just beat him. It was like nothing, again. That time was not a joke. He almost crit killed 2 people by himself, and he's not usually a threat on lower tiers. Suddenly he's a real threat. Like that last tier enemy, this version of the Necromancer Lord is not a joke. He's the final 4, right? And it's crazy too, because he's the baby boss. He's like the first bad tier boss, the first red tier boss, right? He's the first boss we ever saw. We beat him. We beat a second for him. And now this is his 3rd coming. And I do want to beat him, because I'm going to certainly be using this Necromancer's Collar against the Prophet when we go up against him. Ironically, I think the Prophet will be easier to deal with than the Necromancer, because remember the Prophet, he just has a gimmick. His whole thing is like, I drop the ceiling on you, but if you bring healers, it trivializes the entire fight. The key against him is making sure that you actually survive to the fight and you get all the way there, because you have to essentially gimp yourself by running with all of these like heal abilities, and then you have 3 other abilities to run with for the whole dungeon to get to him. So yeah, I think that's probably our next mission. Our next go-to, I think, is pretty clearly, because I don't want any of these items. Yes, I do want this item, but I'm not going to go try that guy again. I literally can't. I can't do a red tier mission at all anyways. We don't have the guys. Everybody's being treated at the bar. They're all doing something else. I do want to get this item, the Bullseye Hat. We've somehow not managed to get one of those, right? We've got the other version, the Bullseye Band. No, we did get it. The Bullseye Hat, Bullseye Bandana. Remember, these are literally the same item, because the Arbalist and the Musketeer are the same class, same character. They were just, one was a early release, like, you know, early supporter pack version, the same character. So I think we are pretty well locked in here for the next mission. I don't even think I have to think. When I come back, I mean, it'd be really cool to get this. I do want the Wounding Helmet at some point, but I think this is clearly what we want, even though I don't want another Hunter's Talent. I've already got one. But that's the next mission we'll be doing. Infestation levels are getting to high, which is annoying. We're gonna have to start thinking about going to the courtyard again soon. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna stop here, but take a break, let my dog out. The dog needs to take a break for a bit. I've been playing for, this is 3 hours and 45 minutes. Oh my God. and then I'm going to come back maybe in a little bit if I feel like it. I felt like playing a lot tonight because I didn't play 2 episodes last night like I normally do on Fridays. I only played 1, and then I did something else, so that's fine. I don't know if you're actually still in chat or anything like that, John. I see somebody else over in Twitch as well, but I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to come back. So I'm going to do my outro for my regular channel. I haven't actually uploaded any regular videos to that channel in a while, and I'm probably not going to do that for these few videos because there's nothing really eventful happened in this episode. It was basically just like finding items, leveling our guys, doing the thing, but nothing crazy happened. Like, realistically, 2 things happened. I beat the Shambler, ran from it. I ran from 3 missions and beat the Shambler, got its item, and then ran from, and got like some random gold or something. Nothing crazy, but I'm just kind of grinding. When I do beat this guy, I'll probably upload that. We will see, because the final form of every boss is really like the challenge, right? That's where it's at. So, yeah. So let's go ahead and do our outro, and that'll be it for tonight. Well, for this episode, but I might do another one. I bet whoever it was that was watching me on Twitch left. He was silently watching. All right. Yeah. So let's do the outro. Okay, that's gonna do it for this episode, guys. If you'd like to see short form content, high level edits, things you'd see in YouTube Shorts, quicker, fast-paced videos you'd see in like your lunch breaks, 10, 15-minute long videos, you can go over to the Blue Titan Space Gaming to subscribe to that channel to see content like that. If you want to see longer form content where I talk with my chat, talk about strategy, talk about other games, talk about things unrelated to gaming entirely, just crap, have a crap session with my my chat, my YouTube and Twitch, you can head over to the Blue Titan Space Gaming Space VODs to see more content like that. Again, I don't even know if this video is going to make it up. I don't think it's going to. I don't think I'm going to actually put this on my main channel, but it's good to practice, which is why I'm saying that. Although it will be in the VOD, so yeah, a little behind the scenes for those of you watching this long VOD. But yeah, until next time, thanks for your time. I'm the Blue Titan, and we'll get that Necromancer next time. Bye.